Welcome everybody to McKenzie Stadium for the first of 2 days of live coverage of the Greater Saint Helens League Track and Field Championships. I am your co-host Matt Griffin.
And I'm here, Rodney Lawrence.
We're going to be broadcasting mostly running events throughout the afternoon. Starting at 4 o'clock, our first race is at 4 o'clock and runs through about 7. Typical track meet will run a little bit behind schedule.
They tend to do that.
Yeah, Jet knows that. So right now, before we get underway, let's throw it down to the field where we have our correspondent from VPS Game Time, Jackson Pace, with our first winner circle interview.
I'm here with Victor Naumov. He just won first in shot put. How does it feel?
Feels really good. Been waiting for a long time. I'm a junior already, so it's my first win. Feels really good.
Yeah. Are you excited? You're excited for next level of competition?
Yeah, I kind of had a disappointing outing here last year, so I was kind of glad to pop a big one out in my first couple of throws and kind of seal the move along to the regionals. So it feels really good. Yeah.
All right. Well, back to you guys.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jackson. We are live here at McKenzie Stadium. Absolutely wonderful day.
Yeah, it's the day is nice. The weather is good. We're getting ready to start up here it looks like the first event is going to be
everybody. Here, 1 second
relay,
here.
The 4x200.
Can we take camera 3 for a second?
Right?
All right, we're going to step away, and we'll be right back. Right. Nothing like a technical problem.
Yeah.
My coworker Wade Ferguson says every live broadcast is just a series of technical problems
Yes,
that you have to solve one by one. And I think that's the first one we've had today.
It is.
So if that's the case, we're going to be just fine. So our first running event today starts at 4 o'clock, and let's see, we are about
We're about
12 minutes away from that, give or take. The 4x200 meter relay. Now, Rodney, this is a race that you don't see in a lot of states.
No,
high school level.
You don't. They took it out a long time ago, and they just kind of left it as an event for the girls. And the boys don't run this up here in the state of Washington.
Yeah, in Oregon, where my daughter is currently a senior in high school, so I've been to plenty of track and field meets, and being a former runner myself, the 4x200 is something you'll see at some of the invitational races.
Yeah, it sure is. It's a nice race. It's a real fun race to watch too. I mean, it's right there in between the 4x1 and then the big 4x4 that everybody kind of hangs around at the end of the meet to watch. So it's a cool race to watch. It's exciting. You get to really see movement, and people can make some big comebacks in it.
So today we will bookend the entire meet with the relay races, which everybody loves to see.
Yeah.
So the 4x200s with the girls will lead off the event or the day, and then the 4x100s today. The 4x400 meter relays will be the final events on Thursday, tomorrow.
There you go. Okay.
So let's talk a little bit about the weather, Rodney.
It's nice. This is not typical Washington weather for this time of the year. I'm sure the kids, the athletes, they were real excited about it. It's kind of set up for some pretty good times. The wind seems to be blowing pretty good up here. It doesn't look like it's blowing quite as hard down there on the field. So
no, I've been down to field level, and if you can see some of the flags that are lining the edge of the track here to partition off people warming up and some of the field events, the flags there aren't too breezy.
No,
so I
they're
think
not.
this is going to be a good day of racing.
Sure is. I mean, it might be set up for some pretty good times here this afternoon. So looking forward to it.
So again, we're about 10 minutes away from our first race. I would like to mention that this is the very first joint sports broadcast from Vancouver Public Schools and Evergreen Public Schools. So we have students and staff from across Vancouver Public Schools, across Evergreen Public Schools, running camera, graphics, our trackside correspondent. So it's a great joint venture, and I thank my counterparts, Nick and Ian from Vancouver Public Schools for coming over and bringing their students out today.
Good deal. It's always nice to be part of a first, especially in things like this where we can put things together for the kids out here and the athletes that we have over here in Southwest Washington.
So I would mention, we've tried to get the word out as best we can, but there will be people tuning in throughout the afternoon. We are broadcasting live on the channels of TV, etc. So if you have Comcast, we are on Comcast channels 28 and 328. And we are also broadcasting live on Evergreen Public Schools YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/Evergreen Schools. I have also embedded that live stream on Evergreen Public Schools Facebook page, so you can check that out. One technical note, it is really hard with our field events here at McKenzie Stadium.
Yeah,
they are
it is.
spread out. So, from our camera positions, you'll be able to see the discus. I think that takes place tomorrow. You'll be able to see the high jump, and then over on the far end, the pole vault, and then our triple and long jump pits are at the top of the stadium, and so it's next to impossible for us to get a live shot from up there. And then our shot put is over on the other side of the track. You can't even see it down on the other side, a field there back behind Burton Elementary School. So as we get winners throughout the afternoon in some of the field events, we will do our best to give them their fair shake by bringing them down trackside for an interview with Jackson there.
I did notice that they did finally bring the javelin up here onto the track. I remember many years ago it was down there way past the girls' softball field.
Yeah,
so,
down there, again, back behind Burton Elementary School.
Yeah, it sure was. So that's nice that they were able to bring that up here, too, get as many of the events right here in front of the crowd as they possibly can. So that's definitely a good deal.
So we have, I see, we are still about 10 minutes away from our first event.
Heading over to the bullpen, starting to anyway.
For those people who aren't familiar with the relay races, at each of the exchange zones, you'll see folks with a flag.
Yeah.
Tell us about that, Rodney.
Well, it's a stick there that they're holding on to. One flag is white, one flag is red, and what you don't want to see after you come through an exchange is that red flag go up, because that means that the handoff happened either before you got into the exchange zone or way after you've gotten out of it. So hopefully, being a track coach for a lot of years and a relay coach as well, that was probably the thing that gave me the sleepless nights, is knowing that the team is fast enough to do something good, and making sure you get that stick all the way around the track is probably the most important thing.
And the timing here at this event is being done with a timing system and a camera system that will capture any of those photo finishes, as they say. And it's owned and operated by Evergreen Public Schools. So I know they were having a couple technical glitches, as they always will with technology like that, but hopefully they've got it figured out. But I see the starter up on his platform getting ready, and then I know that they'll send those flags around to the exchange zones, and the starter will ask for a white flag from each of those people at those zones to signify that they're ready for the start of the race.
Yes, that should be pretty exciting. Pretty. I'm looking forward. I haven't got a chance to see the 200 relay run. I'm kind of dating myself calling it the 200 relay, but it's fun to watch that race. I'm looking forward to watching it. It's a cool race to watch.
Now, is this a race where they stay in lanes for the entire race, or can they cut in?
No, they will stay in their lanes the entire race for this one. Yeah, they definitely will. Unlike the 4x4, where once they get around once, then it's the easiest lane for you. These guys, they have to stay in that lane all the way around on all exchanges.
And isn't that on the 4x4? Don't they go 500 meters first exchange and then one more 100?
Yeah. They sure do. So the split times are a little different. when you're trying to find out exactly what everybody's running on their split times, because that first person will run longer than everybody else.
And, unfortunately, with the district-owned timing system, we do not have a clock. And I know it's on the hey, we ought to buy one of these list. So hopefully we do this next year. We'll have a clock to be able to show you. So you're going to get a lot of guesses from Rodney and I as to how quick people are running
Hand time
today.
this for you and see if we can't get close to what's actually going on here.
Looks like a vaulter from Battleground just cleared over the pole vault. That was a good jump.
Yeah, that sure was.
Can't really tell. I don't know if they have
I don't see the stand sitting
the
up over there.
stand,
letting
to
the
give
crowd
us what
know where
height
they are. Yeah.
height they're at. We'll look for that, and if we do see it, we'll try and give you a best guess at what height they're trying to clear.
Looks like that might be about 13, 14 feet right there. This early in the meet, I wouldn't imagine anybody's that far above that right now.
We'll take a second here to pause and look at my notes while we're talking about the pole vault as we wait for them to get I'm going to rifle through my pole vault here. Oh, and what they've done. Oh, there it is. All right, so that was a Battleground vaulter that we just watched. So that'll be Tyrell Halmy from Battleground, who comes into the event with the second highest seed height of 13 feet 6 inches. So if that looks like about 13 feet to you, he's probably in the hunt there for a league title. Michael Rogers from Union High School came in with the best height of 14 feet even. So we'll have to look. From the looks of it down on the field, we have a vaulter from Skyview about to.
Yeah, it does look like that. And I actually coached this event years ago. I tell you what, the type of kids who like and enjoy that type of a thrill ride are some interesting kids. I loved coaching them. I mean, definitely adrenaline junkies and daredevils to be able to do some things like that. So, I mean, just about everything you thought of and, any kind of opportunity to try to make them better, they were definitely game and gung-ho to try.
You talk about daredevils and my old track coach was a little salty, and I'm not meaning to insult the intelligence of any of our pole vaulters, but his joke was, show me the kids who are brave and stupid, and I'll turn them into great pole vaulters. Right. But no, these are all wonderful students, but it's definitely for the daredevils.
Yeah, most definitely.
All right, it looks like we are starting to see some 4x200 meter runners on the track. I see a team from Fort Vancouver here. Looks like a team from Battleground. Kelso making their way towards the start line. Looks like we're about to get ready. So what we'll do before we start each event, we'll try and give you lane assignments. We won't do that until we get them on the track here, but that's what we'll do. We'll try and give you the lane assignments for the teams, their best seed time. We'll tell you who to look for as we follow the races through the
good deal. So
their progression.
This year is again the top 3 that go on to the next meet, correct?
I don't know.
That's something we're going to have to find out here.
Yeah.
Because that's what I was thinking, that's the way it was.
Yeah, so. I need to get a clarification on that, and we may take a timeout to do that in a couple minutes when we get a chance. I can only speak from my experience in Oregon. And my daughter competes at the highest level. In Oregon, there's 6 classifications, so she competes at the 6A level. And I know at the district meet, in each event, they will take the top 2
and the fastest
from each event who progress onto state. And then you have to make the next number of fastest times.
Right.
So you could conceivably place 3rd and go on to state if you've got one of the better times after all the districts have competed. Or you could finish third, like my daughter did last year, and not make it to state.
Make it in, yeah. Yeah, just because unfortunately, when on those type of things, if you get put in a slower heat, and you don't get pushed, you don't necessarily you can get beat out by tenths of seconds.
Well, and as the case was in her event, the top 2 in each district went, plus 6 additional at-large times, and there was a district that had 7 of the 8 athletes in that event went on to state. So they took the first 2 places, and then they got the next 5 additional athletes got to go and knocked everybody out.
Yeah,
so there were a lot of third-place finishers waiting to see what the times were around the state, and a lot of heartbroken third-place finishers, my daughter included.
I'm sure. Especially you feel like third place, you got a chance, you got a shot to get in,
All right, so we are hearing final call for the 3A 4x200 meter relay. Today and tomorrow, 3A girls will be followed by 4A girls, 3A boys, followed by 4A boys. And so that'll be the order of each event. So here are our lane assignments for the 3A 4x200. In lane 1 will be Evergreen. In lane 2 is Kelso. In lane 3, the 4 ladies from Prairie. In lane 4, Mountain View High School. And in lane 5, Fort Vancouver.
Well, it looks like Prairie is coming into this with the fastest time at 1:52.80. So 152 high, if you will. But everybody else is real close. So it should be a pretty good race.
I did notice as I was making these graphics throughout, Prairie's got some pretty fast sprinters.
Yeah, they do.
This go round. I'm really excited to watch young man Nolan Mickenham. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Yes, Nolan Mickenham from Prairie. He's got some really fast times in the 100-meter and the 200-meter dash, so he's going to be somebody we'll be talking about as we get moving along here.
Yeah, right now it looks like I went out there on athletic.net and looked at some things, and it looks like his fastest time right now is a 10.81. So, that's definitely got him in the running here for this track meet today.
Yeah, he competed in the prestigious Nike Jesuit Twilight Relays out of Jesuit High School in Beaverton, Oregon, and he placed 7th in that event.
Oh, okay.
And had a fantastic time, but that's a meet that will bring athletes from California, Washington, Oregon, Idaho. There were some athletes from Colorado who came this year, it's a pretty prestigious and a fast event.
And you mentioned that, and that is actually the event. That was actually the event where he ran the 10.8. So he was definitely pushed to his potential. Looks like that might have been a PR, and that's what's cool about track. If you run against people who are faster than you, they'll pull you along, and you'll have your best night ever.
Yeah, Rodney mentioned a website, athletic.net. Not every state or high school uses it, but that's, a compendium, if you will, of times from around Washington, and athletes or coaches are encouraged to input their times there, so we get a good chance of where everybody is this time of year.
Yeah, it's turned into a pretty good source of information for track and field over the years. Looks like a lot of schools are deciding that they want to use it, so it makes it easy for the parents and the coaches and the fans to kind of pay attention to what's going on with the kids throughout the state.
We're real close here. We see red flags at the first exchange zone. They're across the opposite side of the track. That's a good picture of that right there. Just working out the last few kinks in the timing system. All right, so we have white flags in that first exchange zone, so it signifies that they're ready. Getting your stopwatch there ready, Jet?
Yeah, you can take one, I'll take two.
Okay. All right. Starter is up on his podium. And we're getting ready for the start of the 4x200. And for those in the booth, the start is right down here at the finish line. That's the first exchange zone you're showing there. So what we're looking for is a shot of the finish line. There we go. There's our start. All right. We're just waiting for a white flag. There we go. White flag from the starter's tent. Gun is up. Oh, that was a
our
test.
First test round there. So just like always, we'll go by the smoke, not the sound, right? Try to get this as close to the official time as we possibly can.
That's an old coach's trick.
Yeah.
Yeah, look for the smoke, not the sound, because it takes a second or two to travel across to where we are.
Yep.
Probably not that long.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Red flag's back up. Coach Rory Rosenbach.
See the master of ceremonies.
Master of ceremonies
tonight. Okay.
As they say, just making sure everything is up and running.
He had a pretty exciting school year this year with the Titans football team making it all the way for the first time since the school opened, and first time they've won it. They've gotten there to that game a couple of times, but they were.
And we're going to see a couple of Union standout football players a little bit later. I'm looking for Lincoln Graves. I think he's running the 100. I don't know if he's running the 200, but I saw his name there. He's one of the top seeds in 4A 100 meter dash.
I'm not surprised when I saw his name. I mean, when you see the way he got around on the football field, I can only imagine what it's going to be like on a track.
All right, here we go. That's runners to your mark.
The gun is up. I think I got a good start.
I got a bad start. I double punch, but we'll do our best.
Alrighty.
I really want them to get that clock. So it looks like Fort Vancouver out fast.
Yeah, the stagger is actually going to be made up here on this next turn, but Fort Vancouver seems to be far out ahead of everybody, way ahead of the stagger right now.
There's Prairie already making up the stagger. Okay, we're waiting for the white flag.
The first handoff, and here comes the first athlete coming through the curve here.
We got white flags on that first handoff, so that's a clean exchange. So they are coming around. They will come around here to the start line for the third 200-meter leg. That's Fort still out in front, followed by Mountain View. Prairie in third.
Mountain View coming up strong.
Kelso in third.
Come take it over. And on the exchange here, Mountain View is going to take the lead.
White flags on exchange zone 2.
That first 400 was about a minute 3, so pretty good pace here. Mountain View still in the lead.
Okay, it's going to be all about this final 200 because they got the baton at the same time.
And here we go. This looks like this is going to be a real good race to the finish here as they come around this curve. Nice lean into the wind. Nice fight, but Mountain View able to pull this one out. And Mountain View is going to take it.
I got 149 and change.
And I got 151 for the second place. So good race by both these schools. Mountain View and that's Prairie High School, it looks like, down there took second place.
I do have a commitment from the folks at the timing table. They do have a printer down there. So though we don't have a clock for you, they promised once they get the results, they'll bring us official results, and we'll be able to talk about it a little after the fact.
Well, that's the way to start things off. Nice, good race. There's definitely a headwind coming down that stretch on that one, so they were fighting. You can see her kind of leaning into that as she was coming out of that curve over there, the young athlete there from Prairie High School. Mountain View just able to just overtake them.
Yeah, the wind direction here, is down those straightaways.
Yeah.
So you've got one at your back and one at your face.
Yeah, it sure does. Definitely. So it looks like we're getting ready now for the women's 4A.
4x200.
4x200. So
let's see if the truck has our lane assignments for this race. There we go. In lane 2, we have the ladies from Camas High School. In lane 3, Union. In lane 4, Skyview. And in lane 5, Battleground.
Well, there we go. Union in the middle lane in the track. Also stands that they are coming in with the fastest time right now with 1:47.57.
Well, and I did see what they did for me in the graphic. At least on the heat sheet I had, they were in lanes 2, 3, 4, and 5, and it looks like they're going to shift over to lanes 1, 2. Nope. No, is she moving her over? Nope. No, they will be in lanes 1 through 4 instead of lanes 2 through 5. Our fastest seed time here is Union High School with a time of 1:47.57. And this follows a couple years following the absolutely fantastic Merriweather sisters who have graduated and gone on to college, where they are burning up the track.
Oh, I'm sure they are. I am sure they are. As we kind of look here at the start here on the screen there, I don't know if you can actually see it, but if you notice, the girls who are farther into the curve have their blocks kind of set at a slant. So when they come out, they're coming out for they're running for that edge.
Running for the curve, yeah.
So it kind of helps them kind of shoot themselves right there to that edge in the shortest amount of distance possible, so to get around that track.
Place it on the outside of the curve.
Yeah.
And you aim for the inside?
You aim for the inside of it, yeah.
Yeah, in the 200 meters, you'll almost exclusively seeing the athletes using blocks. When we move up to the 400, some athletes will choose whether or not they want to. Now, when you get up into the elite and college level, it's almost unheard of for an athlete not to use blocks in a 400.
Yeah.
And even in the 800.
Yeah, you're setting yourself back if you don't come out of the blocks at the college level, and even some of the U.S. track and field stuff that they do in the summer, where some of the elite athletes come out there and do it. They're out there as well.
Now, as I suggested, track meets always run a little bit late. We were about 6 minutes late on the start of that first race, but now we're only about 3 minutes late for the start of this race. So, we'll be able to catch up as they kind of work out the kinks. I see white flags at the first exchange zone on the opposite side of the track, so they're already there. Okay, let's see if I can hit my stopwatch correctly this time, Ronnie.
There you go. All right, so Skyview and Union, the two teams right there in the middle, lanes.
Great shot of our starter. Up.
2 and 3. Battleground all the way up top. Looks like one of the athletes is struggling trying to get the block set.
Well, that's a sign of a good starter. Most of our track and field officials have been doing this for a long time. Many of them former track and field athletes or coaches. And so you see him down there helping that runner from Battleground with her blocks. Always like to see that. Making sure everybody's got an equal shot at a great race.
Yeah, that's the worst feeling in the world, is to come out of the block and have it slip on you.
Yeah. That's something you would know about.
Yeah.
I was running so far there was no need for blocks.
There's no need for the blocks. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, that's miserable. I mean, your heart drops into your stomach when you push off.
Okay. We're going to do lane assignments again. Now, keeping in mind that they have shifted over one lane to the left. So this graphic, I'll read it the way it's supposed to be on your track. That's lane 1, Camas, lane 2, Union, lane 3, Skyview, and lane 4, Battleground. Now, is that? Yeah, they may have even flipped one of those on me. It looks like they did.
It looks like Skyview is actually in lane 2 and Union in lane 3.
Don't they know how much time I spent making these graphics?
Right. No.
I made 22 of them incorrect, and then I had to go back and do it again.
Alrighty.
They have no idea.
Gun is up.
Good start.
We're off. Good race. Good clean start there. Skyview starting to make up the stagger already on the first leg as she comes out of that first 100. Definitely running a strong first 200 there is Skyview, as they've got themselves in first place.
And they've got the second fastest seed time, but it's 6 seconds slower than Union seed time. So, that leads me to believe that later on in the race they've got some faster runners. Clean exchange on that first exchange zone, and there comes Union screaming around that corner in lane 1.
As they come down here in front of the stands, nice little commanding lead there. That is Camas High School. Skyview, Union, then Battleground. So Camas takes a big lead here. And they are coming in with the second fastest time in this event. The battle there between Union and Skyview along that back stretch. It looks like Camas has got a commanding lead, and unless we've got some jet rockets on these little girls right here, I don't think they're going to catch Camas, because she is running that curve beautifully.
Clean
she
exchanges.
comes out of it. And here comes Camas High School all alone down the stretch. I've got Skyview coming across with a 150.93.
I had a 147 for the winners. We'll wait those heat sheets. Right now, though, let's throw it down to Jackson Pace, who has a winner circle interview. Go ahead, Jackson.
Hi, I'm here with the winning 3A 4x2 team. You are?
Emma. Emily.
All right, so how does it feel? You guys are going to state. What's it like?
Oh, amazing. It's so cool. I can't wait. Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, it's going to be really fun.
So what's the difference between running as a group and running in a solo event? What is there a difference in training?
Well, I actually think it pushes us a lot harder because it's more of like a team effort than just yourself. So celebrating and winning.
How did you guys decide on the order of was it up to you? Was it up to the coach?
The coach. Yeah, the coach told us what we do.
Yeah. So how does it feel to represent your school at the district meet this year? What's it like?
It's great. Yeah. The best thing. Competition is really strong, so it's awesome that we get to push ourselves. Yeah.
All right. Well, Matt and Ronnie, back to you guys.
All right, thank you so much, Jackson. He was there with the ladies from Mountain View High School, the winners of the 3A 4x200 meter relay. Jackson, a student from Vancouver Public Schools. On camera down there, we have Jacob Taylor. He went to several years of school at Fort Vancouver High School before coming over here to Heritage High School. He is a Heritage High School graduate, so we want to thank all of our current and former students who are helping us out on camera tonight. I think by the time everybody gets here, we have a bunch of kids coming over from Vancouver. They don't get out of school till 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
So they're coming over here. But I think by the time we get things really rolling, we're going to have 10 to 12 students from across our districts here, and it's going to be...
That's going to be nice.
Great thing. So, brought to you by video production, staff and students, as I said, from both of our school district, our first joint live sports broadcast. So right now on the track is the contestants for the 3A men's 1600 meter run. Let's take a look at who we have in our entrance real quick. All right, we have Dylan Peterson from Prairie, Sheldon Gallipo from Prairie, Ty Nishaw from Prairie. From Mountain View is Brandon Chow, Ryan Ransom from Kelso, Jonah Chambly from Kelso, Isaac Moulton from Prairie, Luke Lund from Prairie, Andrew Weber from Fort Vancouver, Colton Jorgensen from Kelso, and Shun Yamaguchi from Mountain View. Now, if I'm remembering correctly, Shun Yamaguchi won this event 2 years ago when we broadcast this, and he has the fastest seed time, 4:33.15. Now, 1600 meter, not technically a mile,
Right.
but as close to it as you're going to get for meters. So this is 4 laps around the track. Guns up.
And it looks like we've got a clean start. A little jostling there in that first curve.
Boy, that's one thing I've noticed, at least in the men's races that I've watched this year, as I go watch my daughter compete. A lot of pushing.
Yeah.
This year, I don't know what it is, especially in the boys' races. Boy,
they
they jockey for position, and
Pretty quick.
I guess that's part and parcel of having so many people who are so fast. The entire race is spent bunched up in a pack, and so you'll see a little elbow checking, a little hip checks.
Make sure that they're marking their territory, and this is where I'm going to be. Looks like Kelso's leading the pack. Came out of that one pretty fast. Kind of left the pack, but they've all caught back up with him.
We'll see what this first lap is. That second 200 is certainly slower than the first. This is a pretty fast first lap. It's about 63 seconds.
It's kind of broken itself up into 2 groups. Got a lot of Skyview runners there.
So you are going to see the next couple of laps, unless something drastic happens, that pace is really going to slow down, and it's going to get more strategic because they went out really fast.
Pretty fast. Yeah, they did.
Especially given their seed times.
Yeah.
Now, where we can, we will make our best guess as to which athlete is in the lead. But not having
schools,
not having covered a lot of track races this season, we know some races where we will see obvious front runners and we'll be able to name them.
Yeah.
But where we don't know the name of the obvious front runner, we'll just give you the school, like Rodney said.
Yeah, that works perfectly. Going into 2 laps, Kelso still seems to be holding on to that first spot. Mountain View kind of tucked in there. Looks like he's kind of waiting to make a move. As Mountain View goes into second place as they come across that for the second.
So is that a Prairie runner out front?
That's looks like that might be Kelso. I think Prairie's in the all red.
Okay, so my guess is that would be Colton Jorgensen from Kelso, who has the second fastest seat time. And I only see one Mountain View runner out there, and I think that Mountain View runner is Brandon Chow. I don't see Shun Yamaguchi out there.
Yeah, I think you're correct. I see just the one. He's dropped back into 4th place here now.
Okay, Colton Jorgensen of Kelso in the lead, I believe, followed closely by Andrew Weber from Fort Vancouver. I do know that that's Andrew Weber. Coming across for our bell lap. All right, not a bad time here. 3:18 at the 300-meter mark. I'm sorry, 1,200-meter mark.
Yeah. Looks like they've picked up the pace, and they've set themselves far out above the rest of the pack here on this final lap. We've definitely got a race down the back stretch over
Weber
here.
from Fort Vancouver making a strong move on the back stretch. Let's see what kind of kick Colton Jorgensen has coming into this final 200. Andrew Weber, though, looking strong.
Yeah, if he lets him get too far away, he's not going to be able to catch him, and it doesn't look like he plans on catching him either with the way he's kind of settled in there in the 2nd place.
Well, and that move was so decisive when he went by.
Yeah, it sure was.
It's hard to respond psychologically.
Yeah, it is.
Unless you've got a great kick.
Yeah.
I didn't. I always had to try and burn it out of him.
Well, here we go.
And this will be Andrew Weber from Fort Vancouver, your winner in approximately 4:22.6.
2nd place is 4:28. We've got a battle here.
Shun Yamaguchi.
And he's going to take
4th place. So he was out there. I just saw 2 different styles of Mountain View uniform.
Yeah.
Yeah, new school and old school. So Shun Yamaguchi from Mountain View in 4th place.
And a nice little kick there by the Kelso athlete as he comes in into finish line.
We have a camera down there just off the end of the finish line, showing scenes that I always like to see, those handshakes at the end of the race. Win, lose, or draw. Hey, let's go down to our winner circle where Jackson Pace has the winners of the 4x200 meter relay, the young ladies from Union High School. Take it away, Jackson.
Hi, I'm here live with the relay team.
Union.
I'm so sorry. The last one is Mountain View. Union, sorry.
I'm Logan. I'm a junior.
I'm Vanessa, and I'm a senior.
I'm Ariana, and I'm a sophomore.
I'm Brinley, and I'm a sophomore.
All right. So what is it like to run a group event like a relay compared to an event like a solo event?
Well, solo events is a lot more pressure on yourself, and with relays, it's like the team as a whole. So you know that if like you don't do as good, it's not just your fault; it's kind of the team's fault, and it's also like, but it builds a good connection. And like when you're doing individual events, it's like I said, it's just yourself.
Mm-hmm. And it's more like you're not just running for yourself; you're running for your school and your little team.
I don't know. I love it. I feel like a lot more than solo events because it's like you're running with a group of your friends, and it's like you bond together doing something that all of you work hard for.
Yeah, like I don't feel as pressured because like single events I'm really like nervous and scared. Like this, I just like it's like nice being with your team and being a part of that. So yeah, I like that.
Yeah. It was brought up. What's it like to represent your school here at the district meet? Is it exciting, I assume?
Yeah, it's very exciting. It's something that we strive for, and it's a stepping stone for, I mean, yes, it's a big meet, but for us, we see it as like baby steps towards getting to regionals and getting to state, because that's like the biggest events of the whole season. So being here at districts is a very big opportunity for us every year, and no matter like how we've been doing throughout the season, it's just a great experience.
Mm-hmm. I really love it. It's like almost like, it's kind of sad to think that like the beginning of the end.
In my opinion, Union has a really big name to live up to, so I'm very proud that I get to do it.
Yeah, I'm really proud I get to be a part of this amazing team. So yeah.
So what order you run for the relay?
So Ariana ran first. We always knew that she was really good at starts. And I don't know, Logan's really good at being the anchor, just bring it all in together. And then I don't know, Brinley and I just kind of, I don't know, she's the middle.
Yeah, I mean, as the athletes and people running it, we don't really get much of a say and who's like the order of it. It's more of our coach who's like, you're running this, you're doing this. But I mean, every once in a while we could be like, well, what if we switch this around? And we kind of play around with it throughout the whole season, and that's just how it comes together. Whichever works best is the one that we stick with.
I don't know. Our relay coach is really smart with it, so it's kind of like we trust him to decide like where we fit best in.
Yeah, they pretty much said it best. So yeah.
All right. Well, congrats, guys. We're going to send it back up to Matt and Rodney now.
Thank you so much, Jackson, and congratulations to those young women from Union High School, the champions in the 4x200 meter relay. Right now, let's take a look, if we can, at the entries for the 4A men's 1600 meter race. Stuart Johnson from Union High School, Mitchell Hayward from Camas, Hunter Davenport from Skyview, Connor Hayward from Camas, Carson Frawley from Camas, Andrew Thurston from Skyview, Kawika Marchina from Skyview, Jonathan Riley from Skyview. 1 second. Austin Weiss from Camas.
And the race is off.
And a few others. Let's Luke Atheza from Camas, Jackson Lynn from Camas, Spencer Twyman from Camas, Daniel Matan from Camas, and Sam Geiger from Camas. You're definitely going to want to look at Daniel Matan and Sam Geiger. Daniel Matan has, I think, probably the 5th fastest time in the nation, or at least he did a week or so ago in the 800 meter race.
Oh, okay.
An absolutely fantastic time. Sam Geiger has a faster seed time in this event, but I was looking on athletic.net, and I think Daniel Matan has actually run a faster 1600 meter run, but it's not accurately reflected on the website. So you're going to be looking for a whole bunch of Camas runners out front, and right now they're running, 1 through 5? And that is Daniel Matan out front, coming through in 61 seconds.
Wow, it's a fast split.
I believe he ran in the elite mile, which is invitation only. You don't just enter at the Jesuit Twilight Relays, and I think he ran roughly a 4:08 mile. I don't have it in front of me.
Wow.
I meant to print out a few more things. You got it there, Jet?
Well, this is in
the state.
They have the 1500. Let's see if they have the 1600 in here somewhere.
Is that the top times from the state you have?
Oh, there's the 1600. So they still have
Sam Geiger at 4:15.
4:15.
Yeah.
But they do have Matthew in the
Daniel Matan.
Daniel Matan in the 1500.
151.86, and I mean that's 7 seconds faster than the next fastest time, which is his teammate, who is, I think, currently running second.
Yeah.
And if he continues at this pace, he will run about a 4:08. That was 2:05 for the half mile, 800 meters.
Fast 800. And nobody else. I mean, he's definitely showing that he is a head and shoulders above the rest as his lead just gets bigger and bigger.
Well, and I watch how comfortably he's running.
Yeah.
Runners who are in command will take a second just to drop their arms if they're feeling a little tight. They don't usually do that until they're tired. But he just dropped them just to kind of reshift his upper body.
Yeah, definitely is well educated in how to run this race.
And, at this high school level, when you're so far out in front, that presents its own challenges because you're competing against yourself. Unless you've got somebody pushing you, it can be real hard to push yourself to a better time.
Not generally when you PR, when you're this far ahead of everybody. But
right.
His pace seems to be just blistering right now.
So at 1,200 meters, he is at 3:09. And he has an absolutely enormous kick. So I would fully expect him to run this last lap in right around 60 seconds.
Cam is now currently have all 4.
First through 5?
Yeah, 5.
First through 6?
5 through 6. Cam just took 6 as they come around this last leg here.
Okay, we're going to have a race for second and third here. All right, Daniel Matan. 100 meters to go.
And he just coasted.
He's coasting, yeah. Letting off the gas a little bit there. Winning this race in about 4:15 and change. Second place, 4:19, 4:21. That's 4 runners under 4:22.
Wow.
For what is roughly a mile. That is really fast pace.
I'm sure that's also the cross-country team we just watched there. As Camus takes the first 7 spots on the track before any other school shows up.
Well, and you can see their second through fourth runners who cross the line. They're running so closely together.
Yeah,
and that's a sign of guys who are training together.
Yeah, sure.
All year long, you know, those distance guys, especially cross country, going across there to their coach for a little debrief, talking about split times.
Yeah, well-run race by the entire school of Camus. Coach Rosenbach getting them off the track so we can get started on the next. Well, sometimes there is some kind of rule once you get up to the districts and above about being coached, about coaching your athlete while they're down there on the track, and I don't know if that's what Coach Rosenbach was doing.
Yeah, I don't know what the rules are. I think they can do a little debrief after the race. But I don't think they can come up to the fence before they start.
Yeah, I think you're correct. I think you're right on that one. It looks like we're getting ready here for the hurdles as they bring those out here on the track.
I got this headset on so I didn't hear the call for hurdle crew. Hurdle crew always takes a while to get those out, and it looks like we've got lots of helpers out there.
Yeah, we sure do. We got the boys 3A 110 coming up.
Rodney, do you know how high these are? Are these 47 inches?
Yeah, they sure are.
And then the girls then drop down to 39. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And these are going to be fun races to watch because, all of these races here are finals. So there's no qualifying heats. This is for all the marbles. And so for these hurdle races, by and large, you have athletes all the way across the track. So these are always fun races to watch.
It sure is. Right down there, down the middle, we've got Mountain View. Looks like Dave McKenzie, yeah. Yeah, and from Prairie, Caleb Saggart. So those are the 2 fastest right here. And then right on the other side is another Prairie athlete. So the middle of the track is what we're going to be looking for. Hurdles are always fun. I used to coach hurdles. You know, the worst thing about coaching hurdles is you're responsible for getting them out on the track and getting them back off. It was always tough trying to find some kids who would hang around and be like, hey, we need you to get these hurdles on the track and now back off the track. So to get ready for the next event.
And there's little markings on the track. There's blue lines, there's white lines, yellow lines, some arrows facing towards the finish line, some arrows facing towards the start line. And the trick is making sure your hurdle crew knows where they need
where
to
to put everything. Yeah, and then when the ladies come to run, they drop them and then move them again because the boys run the 110s and the girls run the 100. So.
And if we have a second, I think we've got that graphic ready for our lane assignments for event 25. Is actually the 5th event of the day. This will be the 3A men's 110-meter hurdles as we get ready for the start. I always hear hope. And there is Jackson Pace with the winner of the 3A 1600 meter race from Fort Vancouver. Andrew Weber, go ahead, Jackson.
Hi, I'm here with Drew Weber. He just won the 1600. He's repping for Vancouver. What was it like out there today?
It's definitely a bit warmer than it has been the last few weeks, so that was kind of hard. A bit of a learning curve there, but field was good. Bunch of competitive guys. We're all similar times, so it was a good race. Yeah.
And as I understand it, you were out with a ski injury last year. So how does it feel to come back at districts and place first?
Yeah, I mean, I think that skiing injury last year gave me more motivation, honestly. I'm back and better, it feels great to be back, repping for my senior year, and yeah.
Yeah, what is it like out there repping for Fort?
It's pretty awesome being able to be, the only guy, obviously, from the distance crew that qualified. I think actually the only guy from any running event, so it's pretty great to be able to rep my school.
All right, well, yeah, Drew Weber, so we're going to send it back up to you guys.
All right, thank you, Jackson. Quick interview there. And congratulations to Andrew Weber from Fort Vancouver. Seeing him getting congratulations from my counterpart in Vancouver Public Schools for an outstanding race. Scott, our director. Scott, do you have the lane assignments ready for the 3A? There we go. I started to mention this, and then Jackson jumped in there with that interview real quick. So here are the lane assignments for the 3A 110-meter hurdles on the men's side. Jaquan Collins, Mountain View. James McAndy from Mountain View. Kenneth Ogbiama, Prairie, sorry if I pronounced your name incorrectly. David McAndy from Mountain View. Caleb Sagert from Prairie. Josh Hobart from Mountain View in lane 6. Porter Larange from Evergreen in lane 7. Max Bergen from Kelso in lane 8. And in lane 9, Jaden Young from Evergreen. And you started to mention, who do we have here at the top seed?
It looks like it is going to be
David McAndy
at the 14.96 right now.
Followed closely by Caleb Sager from Prairie, 15.12. So you're going to be looking for lanes 4 and 5.
Yeah, it sure is. And it looks like the wind's going to be at their back. Wind's kind of changed direction here, looking at the flag out there across the field. So we could see some pretty good times as they're going to get blown down the track here a little bit.
I was about to say at my daughter's track meet, I'm always hearing questions from freshmen and sophomores.
Yeah.
Can you hit all the hurdles? And I say, yes, you can hit as many as you'd like.
You just don't want to.
But you just don't want to. It's better to go over them than through them.
Yes,
you
it sure is.
typically get a faster time.
Athletes down there getting warmed up, making sure their starts are going to be okay. That is probably the most crucial part of this race, is making sure the blocks are set right so you do not stutter step into that first hurdle. You have to be able to attack that first hurdle. But if you stutter step it, it can ruin you all the way down the track. Like we had the first whistle down there. The athletes are going to get in and stand behind their blocks and get ready for this race.
All right, the starter is up on his stand. Now, do they get a false start, or do they have to walk off the track if there's a false start?
You know, they change that rule so often anymore. I'm really not sure. I
guess we'll know when we see our first false start.
I think the first one may go to the field, and then anybody after that is gone.
You know, when you get to the state level, first false start and you're out.
You're
of
out,
there.
yes. They change that year in, year out, too. They don't always keep it that way. For a while, it was the first one went to the field, and anybody after that was gone.
Okay, I see the man for runners to your marks.
Like we have a clean start.
And again, we're looking at lanes 4 and 5.
Coming right down the middle, just like we suspected. It's going to be Prairie and Mountain View. Prairie in the lead right now. Mountain View comes back and gets it right there at the end on the lean.
That was a great finish. So that was David McKenzie, who did come in with the fastest seed time of 14.96. I got so excited watching the finish, I didn't press the stop. Did you get it?
No, I didn't either. So we'll wait for this. We'll wait for the 10th to come back and bring that up. Yeah, I mean, you just kind of watch that race as it unfolded, and the athlete there from Prairie actually had the better start, got out there, but McKenzie stayed confident, stayed light on his feet, and just drove right through this and was able to get that speed up right there. Hit the last hurdle. They took it at the exact same time, and then he was just able to leg that in and get him on the lean.
Yeah, it was McKenzie with just those final 2 hurdles. You could see he's slowly picking up steam.
Yeah, he sure was. He sure was.
And as you said, Caleb Sager got out with a better start, but then, you know, it's about that consistency in that final 50 meters.
Yeah, he was able to just stay there and just kind of run his race and took over on like those last 2 hurdles and was able to get that done.
Now that we don't have to change the hurdles height at all, we are ready to take a look at the lane assignments for the 4A 110-meter hurdles. And there we have it on your screen. Lane Landis from Battleground in lane 1. Amani Williams from Skyview in lane 2. Andrew Vanderwood from Camas in lane 3. Lane 4 is Kason Shepard from Union. Zach Meyer from Skyview. Tanner Davison from Battleground in lane 6. Nana Crawfie from Heritage in lane 7. In lane 8, Kevin Fadlovich from Camas. In lane 9, Kyle Oler from Skyview. And as we mentioned in that last race, the fastest seed times they will place in the center of the track.
Yeah, they sure will. They sure will. And so it looks like Shepard and Mayer, the 2 fastest on this particular heat. Shepard has him by, about a 10th. So this ought to be a nice, good race again.
And do you have that 4A list handy, Rodney? Wonder where these guys might stack up in the state rankings in the 110-meter hurdles, if you have it.
Let's see if I have that one here. I thought maybe I did. Oh, wait. It's in my
It's in my hand.
Let's see here.
All right. You know what, Scott? I'm not sure we're going to have time. Can we hold on to that interview for just a minute? Let's run this race first. I'm afraid we're going to miss the start. So we'll hold on just 1 second. Let's run this race before our next interview.
Looks like Shepard and Mayer are both sitting there on the top. Their last big races were PRs, and it was when they raced against each other in a dual meet. So they definitely push each other and probably have been pushing each other all year long.
Okay, so in this race, again, you're going to be looking at lanes 4, 5, well, really just lanes 3 through 6, all bunched up there within about half a second of one another.
Yeah, they sure are.
but Kaysen Shepard in lane 4, Zach Meyer from Skyview in lane 5. And really, when you're that tight, it's all about whether or not you're clipping a hurdle.
Yeah, it sure is. It sure is. Like Vanderwood's not that far off. I mean, he can. He has a good night today. He could definitely surprise some people. We've got a clean start here. And as we suspected, the two right down the middle of the track pull away, but Battleground's right there with them. But
Skyview out front.
Now Shepard pulls off to get this one, and he's going to get the race.
We got about a 14-9, 15. Yeah, so just right there, low 15s. And the winner there from Skyview, Zach Meyer in lane 5. Congratulations, Zach. All right, so while we wait for the hurdle crew to drop the hurdles and move them a little bit for the 3A girls and 4A girls, let's go down to Jackson Pace, who has another live interview from our winner's circle.
Hi, I'm here with Coach Sears. She's the distance coach at Fort. Distance at Fort, both cross country and track, is really coming into its own. What's it like to be a part of that, like, as it's growing?
It's been a really incredible ride. I mean, a lot of the credit goes straight back to the athletes who have just been putting the work day after day. They are just so dedicated to each other and the success as individuals and as a team. And it's just been a huge honor to get to be around and watch all of this happen for them.
Yeah, kind of playing off of that, what was it like to have your team train so hard this year and then, come through to win?
Yeah, dude, I mean, the evidence is out there, right? Like, when you work hard and push yourself hard and are constantly striving to see the best that you can do, you get the results of that. And that was just awesome today to watch Drew take a really definitive win in that 1600 was just rad. It was incredible.
Yeah, and I'm sure you are just insanely proud of Drew for that.
Big time, for sure.
All right, well, thank you, Coach Sears. Matt and Rodney, back to you guys.
All right, well, nice interview there from the winner's circle as we cut back here to the track as we see them now getting set up here for the women's 3A 100-meter hurdles. The wind is shifted again, so the wind's kind of blowing all over them, now blowing across the track. Shouldn't really create that much of a headache for the Raiders here.
All right, I think we still have some more hurdles to get lowered and moved. So let's go down to Jackson Pace for another live interview in our winner's circle.
Hi, I'm here with
Zach Mayer.
Zach Mayer. Just won for Skyview in the 110 hurdles. What was it like out there today?
Really rough, very hot today.
Yeah, it was a close race. So how did you manage to pull that off and come through winning?
Keeping my legs really close to the hurdles and pushing really hard and driving my arms.
Yeah. All right. So what's it like to train for the hurdles compared to maybe some other events?
There's a lot of flexibility involved with your hips and your lower legs to be able to get them over those hurdles, and a lot of really endurance over the hurdles, especially for the 300s, but for the 110s, a lot of power into it. So.
All right. Well, this is Zach. So congrats to you, Zach, and we're going to throw it back to you guys up there.
Thank you so much, Jackson. And that was Zach Meyer, the winner of the 3A.
4A. Yes.
4A men's 110-meter hurdle. Zach Meyer heading on to state. Congratulations, Zach. And it looks like we have time to take a look at our lane assignments here for the first 3A, our first 100-meter hurdle race. Scott, do you have that graphic? in the truck. I think we got time real quick. Brianna Marr, Fort Vancouver, lane 1. Ada Owens from Hudson Bay in lane 2. Bailey Norwood, Fort Vancouver in lane 3. Catherine Cattermoss from Mountain View in lane 4. Grace Twist from Evergreen in lane 5. Haley Graham from Kelso is in lane 6. In lane 7, it's Jordan Jensen from Prairie. And in lane 8, Amaya Finn from Hudson's Bay. And who do we have there with the fastest seat time?
Well, it looks like Cattermoss and Twist, the two right there, lanes 4 and 5 are coming in. Cattermoss has the fastest coming in. It looks like at 15:03.
And that's about 1.3 seconds faster than the next fastest time. So really, unless there's too many hurdles hit or a bad start, look at Catherine Cattermoss in lane 4.
Yeah, definitely.
She will be out strong.
Grace Twist out of Evergreen, the only one who is close. I mean, you know, the wind now has shifted again. It looks like it's blowing at the backs of the runners again, so you never know what can happen out here on the track.
Oh.
All right, well, the athletes there getting ready, making sure they're loose. They're all getting into the blocks. Gun is up.
You get a start? I did.
I think I did. I think I got a good one, and just as we suspected.
Oh my goodness! What a commanding
way out in
race.
Front of everybody. And she is a nice three-stepping hurdle on that.
Great view
Something
from
you don't
that.
always see from the young ladies. And she came through there commandingly.
15 something.
Yeah, with no issues whatsoever. She just came right out of the gate right over.
Beautiful
strong.
form over those
Yeah,
hurdles.
Yeah.
And I couldn't tell, was she leading with the same leg
Yeah,
each
she
time?
three-stepped all the way down. So yeah, she led with the same leg.
And that's one thing you'll notice about the best hurdlers,
Yeah.
Rodney. Is that right? They'll
Yeah,
lead
that
with
is.
the same leg.
They will. It's pretty odd to see the boys not three-step, but the girls sometimes, not all of them will three-step it. They'll four-step it. But if they're fast enough, I mean, I had an athlete that I coached years ago at Evergreen who four-stepped it, but she was so fast that she actually made it to state being able to four-step. Generally, if you don't three-step, you're not going to get anywhere. But she was quick enough to be able to overcome that.
Now, does that change, Rodney, as we get to the 300-meter hurdles?
The 300-meter hurdles,
will
they
switch
can
legs?
go different legs. Boys generally get to that first hurdle between 17 and 15 steps, and girls will generally get there between 20 and 19. And then it's just with that race, it doesn't really make that much of a difference. It's just about when you get to it, don't stand up and attack each hurdle. And so it's a lot different look and feel for the athletes when they're running that race.
Well, and I'm sure you've got a lot more time to think about attacking the hurdles because of the distance between. All right, let's go down to Jackson Pace, who is with, I believe that's Catherine Cattermoss, the winner of our last race down in the winner's circle. Go ahead, Jackson.
Hi, I'm here with Kate. She just won the 100-meter hurdles. Won by a lot. When you were out there, did you realize you were that far ahead?
I had an idea, but not exact or anything like that.
Yeah. What is it like to train for hurdles? Because it looks like it is such like a physical event.
I train year-round for hurdles with my private coach, Marinella Gigani. And so it's a lot of hard work, definitely, but yeah.
What was it like out there today?
It was really fun. I enjoy that race a lot, so yeah.
How does it feel to wear that Mountain View jersey and come in the lead by so much? What does it feel like?
It feels amazing. I feel so happy and proud to represent my school, so it's awesome, yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, this is Kate. She just won the 100-meter hurdles, so we're going to throw it back to you guys.
Congratulations, Catherine Cattermoss, heading to state after winning the 100-meter hurdles. I think we do have time real quick to look at our lane assignments for the 4A hurdles. Andy Scalberg from Union High School in lane 1, Kim Fan from Union in lane 2, Sierra Scordino from Camas in lane 3. In lane 4, it's Annalise Ward from Union High School. Ella Wilkes from Camas is in lane 5, Ari Botkin from Union, lane 6. In lane 7, it's Mariah Ephraim from Camas. In lane 8, it's Blanca Hefges from Battleground. And in lane 9, Giselle Torres from Battleground.
And Annalisa Ward is coming out of lane 4, which is the fastest lane on the track right now, with a 15.5. So right there behind her is going to be Wilkes at the 16.69.
And Annalise Ward running about the same time, roughly the same time as Catherine Cattermoss in that 3A race. So look for
a little of the same, I would
pace.
think. Yeah, that's what I would think too.
Shooting down the middle of the track.
Yeah. Nice shot there down the track of the hurdles.
And while we are waiting for the start of this race, I want to say thank you again to all the students, video production students and staff from Vancouver Public Schools and Evergreen Public Schools for making this the very first joint live sports broadcast, our two districts teaming up together on TV, etc.
Ward there in the middle of the track, lane 4, still and ready to go. Gun is up. And it looks like there's a little movement. He stands everybody back up. Lets everybody shake that out.
Not enough for a false start, but he just saw somebody about ready to.
Yeah. And that's a good call there for the starter too, to recognize that not everybody's quite ready, and go ahead and just make everybody stand up and start all over again.
And they'll do that too if somebody's maybe taking a little long
to come up, because they don't want to hold them at that set position too long. Now I'll have to readjust their thinking, shake the nerves back out again.
Good opportunity to help them not have a false start.
Yeah.
And a clean start.
And there is Ward, just as we suspected. And she is taking a commanding lead, almost a full hurdle in front of everybody else. And she is three-stepping it as well, and she's going to come across in 15:42.
Yep.
So pretty good. That's kind of what the stat sheet has for her.
That's roughly a 15.4, 15.5.
Yeah. Real long legs, having no problem attacking those hurdles.
And so it'll take us a couple minutes here to pull the hurdles off the track, and then we're basically taking a look at the same view for the next 4 races. We've got the 100-meter dashes coming up, and these are going to be some fun races to watch.
They sure are.
We got some really fast athletes in these heats, and when we get there, Rodney, I'll ask you to maybe consult your state leaderboard there.
Yeah.
Thank you for printing that out.
Yeah, no problem.
I took so much time messing up these graphics and then having to do them all over again at the last minute that I didn't have time to print out as many things as I would like. I promise I'll come more prepared tomorrow.
All right. Let's see here.
And while we're waiting for the start of this race, I do want to mention Jackson, who goes to school in Vancouver Public Schools. he is nominated for a Student Emmy Award.
Oh, really?
A Regional Student Emmy Award for his broadcasting. And so we want to congratulate him on that nomination and wish him well.
Very good.
He's going to be
Very
going
good.
up to Seattle, I believe, for the awards ceremony. We've got some just really talented video production students in both of our districts. And let's throw it down to him right now. He is live with Annalise Ward, the winner of the 4A Women's 100-meter hurdles. Take it away, Jackson.
Hi, I'm here with Annalise Ward. She's won first in hurdles. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So you were out there. You had a considerable lead out there. Did you know that when you were out?
No, I didn't. No. I just run. I just focus.
Yeah.
Yes.
Get your head in it.
Yeah, you have to stay focused. Things just don't work out, and if you hit the hurdle, you stop your time. And I'm out here for my team, and I'm out here, for my own aspirations. So, for sure.
Yeah. What is it like to train for hurdles compared to training for some other events?
I mean, it's not as technical, but it's a pretty technical event. Just staying focused and making sure that your arms are right and your legs are right, and the position on your trail leg and lead leg. I mean, it's in pretty in depth, but once you get the hang of it, it's not that bad.
Are you excited for state?
Oh, hopefully, if I make it there, yes, of course.
Yeah. So what's it like to be out there wearing the Union jersey, representing your school?
It feels good. I mean, for us to come out here and support one another, it's like a brotherhood and a sisterhood. So it's more like a family than an individual thing. It's more for my team, for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you. Annalise Ward just won first place in the hurdles, so we're gonna send it back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Jackson, and congratulations again, Annalise Ward from Union High School. We'll try and get the finish line crew to start printing those results out like they said
they would,
but they haven't yet.
Not yet. And I'm kind of looking as these athletes are down there getting themselves ready to go. I'm kind of pulled up some information here about some of the fastest kids in the state of Washington right now, and it looks like Devin Brown, Dorian Simmons, and an Anthony Frazier are all up top. Lindbergh, Lakes, and Federal Way with the fastest time being a 10:45 right now.
If you don't
in
mind,
the state.
Rodney, what I can do, if you've got that up, I'm going to log into my athletic.net account.
Okay.
And it will give you a couple more. Won't give you all because I'm cheap.
Okay.
I'm not
you get more than I have.
I'm
off
not
that
doing a
list
paid
right
account, but it should give you a couple more, a better look at what the top runners are. So let me see if we type that into your phone, if that'll go. Well, it helps if I spell my email address correctly. There you go. So you'll have to, there we go.
There we go.
You might need to push the league but maybe give us a better look at where we're standing. So it looks like we have the hurdles all cleared, and man, this wind is really breezy.
Yeah, it is.
Certainly more windy up top than it is down below, but man, the flag's down at field level blowing kind of all over the place.
Yeah. Well, Nolan Mickenham is actually, they got him listed as, the seventh fastest right now with that 10.8. There's a couple of them who've run 10.8 so far this year. But he's right there in the mix. I mean, he is going to have to run a race out there at the state meet. 10:45 that's a tough rate. That's a tough one to catch a hold of.
And does it say here on the side, Rodney, where he ran that 10.8? Was that at the Jesuit meet?
Probably was. Yes. So the Jesuit meet was a great meet for him. He PR'd out there, got himself in the top 10 in the state with his race.
That was a brief shot of the flag over there on side of the stadium, and just showing just how windy it is.
Yeah, it sure is.
So if we have that next graphic in the truck, if I keep my papers from blowing away, I think we're ready to give you the lane assignments here for the 3A men's 100 meter. And then I call for the graphic and then don't have my glasses on. Abraham Dixon from Prairie in lane 1, Nicholas Lawhead from Prairie in lane 2, Bobby Shepard from Mountain View in lane 3, Nolan Mickenham, as we mentioned, from Prairie in 4, Sam Chin from Kelso in lane 5, Darius Danso from Prairie in lane 6, Tay Marks from Evergreen in lane 7, Jalen Fight from Evergreen in lane 8, Jaden Lewis from Hudson's Bay in lane 9, and this was something I didn't quite understand on my heat sheet. They had a second series and they listed another athlete, so I don't know if he's going to run a heat by himself.
Okay.
Because they listed 10 runners, but there's only 9 on the track, and I don't know if the program changed. But if you look here,
yeah,
Lincoln
I see
Glick,
that.
section 2 of 2 from Fort Vancouver. So I don't know really how they're going to do that.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting down here.
So I don't. It said no time, but he's listed as among the entrants. So I don't know if he's going to run on his own. Or
Well, that would be tough to do.
Yeah.
That would be real tough to do. But Mickenham definitely the only one in the heat that is
dipped under 11.
That's dipped under 11 here. Everybody else is
now, isn't Sam
3/10
Chim
above.
close in there? I think Sam Chim from
Chin is
Kelso.
11:32, which is nothing to sneeze at. That's a pretty good race. That's a pretty good race. He might do better today. The wind's at their backs again, and like I'm saying, he's running in lane 5 right next to Mickenham, so that can make you run faster.
Well, and this is a fun race, not least of all because it's been in the news recently.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that kid out of Texas who ran 9.98.
Yes, yeah.
Woo!
So this is a fun race, and this is one of the most talked about races in track and field.
If you're a sprinter.
Yes.
I talk about the 3,200.
The 3,200
And
more.
maybe that's why people don't listen to me anymore. Yeah, Rory was teasing me about it. He says, yeah, and then we have the 3,200 meter races. And I said, why do you say it like that? I said, it's my favorite race to watch. And he said, well, yeah, it just takes so long. I'm like, yeah, that's the point.
That's the point. It's strategy. There's a game plan in that race.
Well, it's definitely that, you've got kids that have different types of strength, explosive strength versus endurance strength and stamina. And it's just really fun to watch.
Yeah, putting that all together
kids,
and coming out with a good race.
Yeah, different kids excel in different things.
Yeah, my nephew actually used to run that race in high school, and then he ran that all the way until his senior year, and he started running the 1600.
You were telling me about that.
And then ended up getting a scholarship to run the 800 out here at Portland State. So that's his race of choice now, and he's had a pretty good season. So he didn't do too bad this year. So I'm sure he's looking forward to next season and really getting out there and making a difference for Portland State and getting some points for him.
Trying to look.
The wind's died down a little bit, but it's still blowing at the backs of the runners.
Let's see. This race is scheduled to start around 5:15. Let's see where we are time-wise. Look at that.
Yeah, 5:13. They're doing pretty good here.
So much for my predictions that track meets always run late. They're running a really tight ship. They started a little late, but they've caught up and keeping
the Rosenbach running a tight ship here today.
And there's, this, Rodney, there's nothing worse as an athlete or a coach. You've got kids who don't always want to stay out of the sun, even though they should because it drains your energy.
Yeah.
But there's nothing worse than having to, thinking your race is at one time and then finding out it's been delayed by an hour and trying to figure out when you're supposed to be warming up, when you're cooling down. And so at these higher level meets, it's always great when you're right on time, so everybody knows when and where they're supposed to be. Guns up. And there he told folks to shake it out. So again, center of your track, lane 4, Nolan Mickenham from Prairie. And they have been tricking us, like Rodney said, with a couple different new uniforms and old uniforms.
Yeah.
So
we got a gun up. Oh, we got a false start, and we'll get to test that rule right now, because that was Chim out of Kelso, who looks like he moved. So we'll see if it goes to the field or if he's done. So lane 5.
I would hope it would go to the field, but
yeah. For our first false start of the track event, Sam Chim out of Kelso. Second fastest time in the heat. And that is.
Yep.
And they do. So it doesn't go to the field. If you false start, you are done.
So that's a disqualification. It's really unfortunate because, for some of these athletes, they're seniors.
Yeah.
I don't know what year in school Sam is, but this could be a final race of a high school career, and you hate to see that. So
and I'm sure he was anticipating running next to Mickenham, just being able to feel like he had an opportunity to run probably one of his better races all year. So just knowing that he was going to be side by side with somebody who's broke the 11 mark.
Right. Well, just know that we're feeling for you, Sam. Tough breaks. That can happen in track and field.
Yep, sure can. All right, we're going to go ahead and start this again. Gun is up. And we're off here.
And the wind dying down for just a moment.
Yeah, and there is Mickenham right there, just as we suspected. And that's quick. That is fast. I got a 10:58. You got a 10:49. So we'll definitely want to wait on the official time on that one.
If either one of those holds true.
And let's hope that's not wind aided. There's a pretty big breeze. I mean, the flag is blowing pretty good.
Well, and that's the thing is I don't see a wind gauge instrument down there. Don't they have to have one?
I thought you did, especially at this level.
What? Actually, I do see it there at the top of the.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah,
the camera's at the top.
Right on the top. That might be it. That's a weird place to have it. Generally, I have it right down there, like sitting around the 50-yard line of the 100 meters.
Yeah,
but very good race, very quick race, and he got out in front of everybody.
Sorry.
So real good race there.
Pause there for a moment to do some promotion for our live broadcast. He says, "Is this going to be on TV?" I said, "We're on TV right now." Is it going to be replayed? Well, yeah, but we're live right now.
We're live right now. Yeah. We're live right now. That's the important thing. Oh my goodness, that was quite a race. I mean, he pulled so far ahead out of it. That would be my only thing. I mean, not to take anything away from that spectacular time, but the wind was blowing pretty good. But like you said, I don't know if that is a wind gauge down there, and if not, if there wasn't a wind gauge here, he is going to go into. He shook up a couple of people in the rest of the state who are didn't have them in their sights there at the beginning.
I've been talking about watching my daughter run. Over in Portland, and there is an athlete over in Portland who's running the 100-meter, and he's gone to some under-20 world championship events, and he's running about 10.2, which is just absolutely stellar. I mean, he won the 100 meters and the 200-meter at state last year. Scott, if we have a second, it looks like we have a white flag here at the finish line. So timers are saying they're ready for the start of this next race. If we have a moment to look at the lane. Oh, here we go. Here's
what you were talking about.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely love to see this.
Very good race. Okay, good job. Now it makes all the sense in the world. Very good for that young man.
Congratulations. Running with an aide, and let's give him a shout out. That was Lincoln Glick from Fort Vancouver. Congratulations, Lincoln. Absolutely fantastic race.
It sure was. Good job.
All about our school's efforts to be fair and equitable and give everyone a chance to
fair
compete.
Opportunity.
All right, so now we are ready, Scott. Let's take a look at that graphic, the entries for the 4A men's 100-meter dash. Eric Prihodiko from Skyview. My apologies, Eric, if I mispronounced your name in lane 1. Casey Murray from Skyview in lane 2. Tyrell Hamill from Battleground in lane 3. Blake Derringer from Camas in lane 4. Lincoln Victor, we talked about him earlier, from the championship football team from Union High School in lane 5. Vin Long from Union in lane 6. Joshua Fearington from Camas in lane 7. Razon Davis from Camas. Tobias Merriweather from Union. Is that a Merriweather child? I'm guessing it is.
I'm guessing it is, yes.
Is that a younger brother or a cousin maybe?
Yeah, he's also a pretty good football player, and I think he's only a freshman.
Yep, I remember seeing that.
Yeah, so Lincoln Victor not having the fastest time on the track. Derringer actually coming in with an 11:01. Lincoln with an 11:06. So if they keep to what that first race was about, we might see both these two athletes run under 11 this afternoon. Flag still blowing pretty good in a favorable position for the 100-meter dash.
And I'm going to go ahead and ask a production question. I don't know if the folks in the truck can ask Jacob, our winner circle camera, if he can walk over to the finish table and ask if they are printing out results, because we would sure love to talk about some official times, especially when we're talking about that 100-meter dash that was so fast. So I don't know if Jacob can walk over to the finish table, the scorers table, and see if they are indeed printing out
the times
winner times. Appreciate it. Thanks, truck.
Athletes all there standing behind their blocks, ready for this 4A 100-meter dash. District 4 track meet here. All these athletes go up north for state.
Do you know where the state meet is, Rodney? I don't this year.
I think it's still in, what is that school?
Tahoma?
Tahoma, yes.
So look for lane 4, Blake Derringer, Camas High School.
Gun is up. And we're off. Lincoln Victor down the middle of the track. Victor right now with the lead. Lincoln Victor in the first place. Victor is going to take this race and he runs a 10:65. You got a 10:77. So these kids are running faster today. Good race there. And I tell you what, that is going to be something that his football coach is going to be highly impressed with.
There were so many of those kids announcing where they were going to school. Do you remember where Lincoln's
I'm not
headed
quite
to
sure
school?
where he's getting ready to go, but they're going to be impressed with him running a 10. Even if it was the 10, I have a 10.6, but you got to
even if it was a 10.8.
He's under 11. They're going to be impressed with that. He is just an athletic kid. He's got that kind of speed. Yeah, he is looking forward to him having a pretty successful college football career as well.
Yeah, I remember right after Union took the state title, going over there for a couple, assemblies and interviews, and every time I was in there in the athletics office, another college recruiter from this and that school coming into town to talk to Coach Rosenbach about his athletes and where they might end up.
He had a stable of athletes these past couple of years. Now, Dillinger looks like he may have, as far as he was back, he may have.
Okay, I think we're about ready for an interview, but I think we're so close to the start of the 3A 100-meter dash. Let's hold that for a second. Scott, can we take a look at the lane assignments for this race? Just want to make sure we don't shortchange our athlete interview. Here we have the lane assignments for the 3A women's 100. Sydney Corden from Prairie in lane 1. Janice Harris Campbell from Evergreen in lane 2. Emily Madura from Mountain View in lane 3. Jayla Morton from Fort Vancouver is in lane 4. Tally Connors from Kelso is lane 5. Hi, Tally. She played soccer with my daughter. Saj Reynolds from Fort Vancouver in lane 6. Holly Dugan-Wicken from Kelso is in lane 7. Berta Bishop-Cruz from Evergreen in lane 8. And in lane 9, it's Bella Matheson from Mountain View High School.
So it looks like Fort Vancouver, Mortons, and Connor, the two fastest here. Right there in the middle of the track. 12.94 there for Morton.
Yeah,
is
so
what they have her set up
take a
with
look at
right
lanes
now.
3, 4, and 5 if it plays out according to seed time.
Pretty good race there. Madura, Morton, and Connors there, 3, 4, and 5. And looks like we have a clean start. Morton standing there holding it off. Looks like she's struggling, and she loses it there at the end and kind of falls out. Looks like she struggled in that race. I don't know where they.
I don't know
where
who
she's
won
going
that.
to fall out. I got a 13.3.
I think you were better. I was busy trying to pick out who won that race.
I don't know. Yeah, I was. It looked like for a while there, Morton from Fort was going to take it, but
that's definitely going to be a photo finish. While we wait for them to sort that out, let's throw it down to Jackson Pace, who has, I believe, Nolan Mickenham, winner of the 3A men's 100-meter dash. Go ahead, Jackson.
Hi, I'm here with Nolan Mickenham. You just won first in the boys 100 meters. Now, this is your third year in a row winning first at districts. How does it feel this year compared to your last 2 years?
It feels pretty good to have a three-peat. It's just keep going, better and better.
Yeah. Now, there was that false start at the beginning of the race. Did that throw you off? Do you think that affected the runners at all today?
Not really. I mean, at first a little bit, but mentally you just got to check yourself back in and get focused.
And I understand you're going to Linfield for both track and football next year. Are you excited?
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
All right, well, this is Nolan Mickenham. Just won first in the 100-meter dash. So we're going to send it back up to you guys.
Might have been.
All right. Thank you so much, Jackson, and congratulations. Scott, I've got your key open. Thank you. All right, we are ready to take a look at the lane assignments for the 4A women's 100-meter dash. As we wait for a white flag from the starter.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure who they gave the win to, the first place on that run. It looked like it might have been a Fort athlete, but I don't believe it was
Jayla Morton.
I don't believe it was Jayla. Didn't look. I don't think that was her. It might have been Reynolds out of lane 6.
Well, and I saw Rory kind of motioning, "Hey, go over to the winner's circle." So we'll wait and see who ends up down there. Scott, do we have time to look at the lane assignments for this race? This is Cecilia Fox Middleton in Skyview in lane 1, Ariana Suarez from Union in lane 2, Annalise Ward again in lane 3 from Union, Logan Nelson from Union is in lane 4, Brinley Jackson from Union lane 5, Tanaraya Delani from Skyview in 6, Ella Norton from Camas in lane 7, Riley Gibbs from Camas in lane 8, and Valentina Maggie from Camas in lane 9.
All right. I don't know if my finger is that quick, or I'm curious to see what these official times are going to be.
Yeah, and I don't know if they've got their printer working, but we're trying to see what we can do about getting some official times because, man, some of those 100-meter and hurdle races were smoking fast.
Yeah, they sure were. They sure were. Lanes 3, 4, and 5, Ward, Nielsen, and Jackson. Looks to be where the race is going to be, with Nielsen coming in with the fastest time out of Union. Union High School. So once again, eyes focus right down the middle of the track. Looks like we're waiting here for something. I don't know if we've got the official white flag down here from the timer's booth.
I saw a little flurry of activity down at the timer's tent, waiting for a white flag. I think it's a little hitch in the giddy up there.
Looks like we've dropped now, about 2 minutes behind schedule here, waiting on the women's 400-meter dash 4A. So still making real good time here.
I think we're still waiting for some race results, official race results, but I did hear the stadium announcer say Catherine Kaudermas from Mountain View won her race in 14.89, and David McKenzie first in 14.98. Yeah, I'm hearing the public address announcer announce official race times.
Yeah.
I sure wish I had that information.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of nice to give
I
our viewers.
saw track administrator walk towards the booth with some more paperwork in his hand, so I don't know if, whatever was going on down in the booth, looks like they've got that taken care of. We got a white flag. So the athletes are ready to go.
And again, Logan Nelson, lane 4, the fastest seed time, 12.57.
Wind now blowing across the track. Like a clean start, and there is a race right down the middle of the track. There's going to be a fight here between Jackson and it's going to go by the dip on that one. Definitely going to be a photo finish between Nelson and Jackson on that race.
If my eyes didn't deceive me, I would give Brindley Jackson the win on the dip.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking too.
We'll have to wait for the official. What I'm hoping for is next year maybe we can figure out a way to dip into their finish line camera as they take a look at some of these. The other thing,
1288. So
I didn't do, but maybe we should think about next year if we do this is bringing out our instant replay.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good. We could sit there and go over the race, and instant replay would be cool. Let's see here. We've got both these two athletes here who came in first and second. We don't know who got first and who got second yet.
And this will take us a couple minutes to get set for the first heat, or first race of the women's 1600 meter. We watched the men run early in the day.
A nice shot of the pole vaulter here.
He cleared that by 1.5 feet.
He did. Interesting technique he used. Just kind of pushed the pole into the box the entire time.
So it'll be a couple minutes before we get ready for the 3A 1600 meter. And in the truck, I don't know how many students we have out today. I started announcing before all the students were able to run here after they got out of school. Keeping in mind that these students are going to school all day long and then coming out here and volunteering their time. And I thank you, students, for all your dedication.
Yeah, that's
all right. We were talking about Lincoln Victor a little bit earlier, winner of the 4A 100 meter dash. So let's go down to Jackson Pace for a quick interview with Lincoln Victor.
Hi, I'm here with Lincoln. He just won the 4A 100 meter dash. Congratulations.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. What was it like to be out there? It was a good, solid race.
Yeah, it was pretty good. They had the schedule mixed up a little bit. They had 4A going first, so then they ended up changing up, had 3A to go first, and then the other run before us. But just getting warmed up, staying out of the sun as much as possible, and just being loose and being relaxed and just getting out there and run the 100 meter.
Yeah, and you're a football player, so you guys won first this year, and now you're first in track. What does it feel like? You guys are on a winning streak, aren't you?
It's definitely comes with hard work and preparation. 14-0 state champs for football. State champs for football, and then coming out here to definitely compete, but also to get better for my main sport. I'll be attending University of Hawaii next year to play football on a full ride scholarship. So this is just my second sport, just getting ready for football. But being able to win today is just just something that has to go towards my hard work.
Yeah. All right. His second sport, as he said, but still he comes out on top. So Lincoln, thank you so much. Congratulations. Matt and Rodney, back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Jackson, and congratulations, Lincoln. Good luck at state. So we are right about on schedule, but I see a little delay in getting the young women out on the track for the 1,600-meter run.
Yeah, it looks like I don't see them. Not quite sure if that's the bullpen sitting out there on the 10-yard line across from the field there.
Yeah, there we go. We see a gathering of what look like distance runners as we watch.
Here we go. Here they are right here coming in, right there at the 40-yard line. They're just now walking up the field. It looks like that's going to be the group.
I think we just watched that same pole vaulter clear a new height. All right, as these athletes make their way onto the track, I think we can take a look at the entrance. There won't be lane assignments per se for this event. This is the 3A 1,600-meter run. Damar Campos from Fort Vancouver in lane 1, Olivia Jones from Prairie, Lauren Sauter from Prairie, Jessica Fiddler from Mountain View, Collar Kirk from Kelso, Susie Johnson from Prairie, Jasmine Bates from Mountain View, Anna Harrison from Fort Vancouver, Emily Phelps from Fort Vancouver, and Mary Dunford from Prairie. And the way these seed times work is the runners towards the end of the stack there, Harrison, Phelps, and Dunford, will come in with the fastest seed times. Mary Dunford from Prairie comes in with a 5:13, and Emily Phelps from Fort Vancouver with a 5:16. And if I'm not mistaken, Rodney, those young ladies should be fairly high up on the list for 3A competitors. So we might be able to talk about that as the race gets underway, as you call it up. I can get the clock.
There we go.
And I don't know if you can filter it there on your phone to 3A.
And the race is off here. Let's see how these young ladies kind of fare. This is all 4A, it looks like.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay.
Go back.
There we go.
And then I think you can go up and filter it for 3A, right?
Yeah, I think we can. Let me see if we can't get that.
Yeah, and then you can,
there it is.
Once that pops up, you can go to 3A. Oh, keep going, keep going. So you can see, there's 3A.
There's 3A.
Oh, 2A. So there we go. Go back.
3A District
back.
4.
There you go. Just click 3A there. Yep, and that'll filter it.
Let's see here.
Coming around that first turn, we were talking about the win for the sprinters. I mean, it's going one direction for them. It's either in their face, to the side, or at their backs. But with these distance races, you're going to be running.
It's going to be right there
in your face, at your back, blowing sideways. So on a windier day like this, it is really a lot harder to. It came through that first lap in about 83 seconds. A lot harder to moderate your pace.
Yeah, it doesn't. So this is these guys right here. It won't let me get past the top 10.
They Go back. There you go.
There we go, the top 25.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's not showing them, and it's one of the drawbacks.
If they don't get that information,
if they don't get the information from the coach or a race official doesn't enter it, so their seed times 5:13, 5:16 would place them.
They're in the top 20.
In the top 15 or so.
Yeah, it sure would.
In the 3A in the state of Washington. So, I mean, you're basically watching, our first two runners or our anticipated first two runners in this race running in the top 20 for athletes in this event. So, pretty impressive athletes.
It sure is.
So that's... I believe that's Emily Phelps from Fort Vancouver out front right now.
Everybody's staying in a nice little clump there, so the pace must be pretty decent for everybody. Nobody seems to be struggling.
So you have Harrison and Phelps up, and then there you have Mary Dunford from Prairie. Wow. Boy, she's just decided to take control of this race. Only 2+ laps in.
So right as I make the comment that there's a comfortable pack, then she decides to stretch that one out. Dunford's coming down here in front of the stands. She's taking a pretty commanding lead here as we get ready for the bell lap.
So I just got a stack of results that we can go over once this race is over, and we both have quick fingers.
Okay.
so what we thought were 10.4s and 10.5s, we're probably closer to 10.8s, but still really fast.
Great races.
So I'm talking about the 100-meter dash there, obviously. Mary Dunford from Prairie out in front, commandingly, with just 200 meters to go in this 1,600-meter race. Emily Phelps and Anna Harrison from Fort Vancouver next. I believe that's Emily Phelps from Fort Vancouver in second and Harrison from Fort in third. And here she comes down the straightaway. Mary Dunford from Prairie taking this race easily. Still some gas in the tank. Strong finish, picking up the pace in that final 50 meters. .5:15 and change for first place. Here's Phelps from Fort Vancouver in roughly 5:22, and then Anna Harrison, Fort Vancouver, in roughly 5:25. Congratulations to our winners.
Looks like we have a race here. For the middle of the pack, two athletes showing how much energy they had left in the tank there. Prairie athletes there.
All right, while we wait for some athletes to cross the finish line, let's go over some 3A results here. Hold that. We have a 100-meter dash winner from Mountain View High School, it looks like. Let's throw it down to Jackson Pace. Go ahead, Jackson.
I'm here with Bella. She just won the 100-meter dash. Now, that was an insanely close race. Do you know how much you won by?
Not really.
You want me to tell you? You won by less than 100th of a second. So that was a close race. So congrats on that. So can you tell us how you qualified? Because I understand it's an interesting story.
Yeah, so the top 8 times will just automatically go to districts, and then the top 9 you go to a qualifying meet. And so I was kind of not really top 8, so I went to the qualifying meet, and then I ended up getting a PR there and winning, which was super cool. And then I got to come here, and then I ended up winning, apparently. So, yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, yeah, again, a super close race. So congrats to Bella. All right, back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Jackson. And a very large field hitting the track now for our 4A women's 1,600 meter run. And one thing you'll notice about this race, lots of Camas runners.
Yes.
They grow distance runners out in the east side.
They sure do. They sure do. So Camas, Skyview, and Union all representing in this race.
All right, let's go down. Jackson Pace to our winner circle. He has the winner of the 3A 1,600 meter run.
All right, I'm here with Mary Dunford, just placed first in the 1,600. You really pulled ahead in that third lap with to get like a big lead. How do you train for that, or was it just luck?
Well, in practice, we talk a lot about how you only take the lead once in a race, and so just have to be smart about when you do it.
Yeah, and this is your third year at districts. How does this year compare to your previous 2 years?
My freshman year, I won in the mile, but last year I got second, so it feels good to make a little comeback.
Yeah, you're back on top. All right, how does it feel to wear that Prairie jersey and, come in first representing your school?
It feels pretty good to represent my school, and being with my teammates, we had 3 other Prairie kids in there, so I felt like we represented Prairie pretty well.
Yeah. All right, well, again, Mary Dunford, thank you so much and congratulations. Matt and Ronnie, back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Jackson, and congratulations to Prairie's Mary Dunford for winning the 3A women's 1,600 meter. While we sort out an 1,600 meter run, while we sort out an issue at the timing table, we can go ahead and take a look at the entrance for the 4A women's 1,600 meter run. Riley Bowen from Skyview, Jenna Lukowiak from Camas, Kylie O'Brien from Union, Cameron Mock from Camas, Ashley McKinstry from Camas, Bella Distanti from Camas, Isabella Abraziz from Skyview, Haley Brodall from Union, Serena Smith from Union, Caitlin Flolo from Camas, Samantha Williams from Skyview, Grace Varsek from Camas, Presley Timmons from Skyview, and Hallie Jenkins from Camas coming in with the fastest seed time of 5:11.33. And I know Hallie Jenkins is way up the stack when we take a look at 4A times in the 1,600 meter run.
Yeah, I'm sure you're right on that one.
And I think Rodney's got that. Is that the one you've got printed out, Rodney?
No, that's not the one that's printed out. I'm going to look at this one that we got here on the.
Once we get this race underway, I'll start reading some of those times because I do have some official results finally. And we're off. So let's talk about 100 meter dash for the women's 3A. The winner was Bella Matheson. Oh, that was a photo finish. We had 3 runners across in 13.44.
Whoa, yeah, it sure was.
First race we couldn't call all day. So Bella Matheson from Mountain View, Emily Madura, Ijanice Harris Campbell from Evergreen High School, 13.44, 13.44, 13.44. They award points, first, second, third, so it looks like they may have had the time, but they give it to them on the lane. I don't know quite how that works.
I don't know how that quite works either, but that's who they had down there at the table, well, at the winner's circle interviewing. So
we have some results here for the men's pole vault, 4A. from Battleground High School. That's Tyrell Halmy with a height of 14 feet 1 inch. That is 1 inch higher than his seed time, or seed height. Crossing through the first 400 meters of this 1,600 meter race in about 1:14. The men's 4A 110 meter hurdles, that was Zach Meyer. We had an interview with him earlier from Skyview High School. That was a 15.40. Kaysen Shepard, very close behind in second place from Union High School with a 15.41. And of course, Daniel Matan from Camas High School, the winner of the men's 4A 1,600 meter run with a time of 4 minutes, 15 seconds, .71. Annalise Ward, the winner of the women's 4A 100 meter hurdles. Annalise Ward from Union High School, 15.8. Union High School, the winner of the 4A 4x200 meter relay in 1:47.4. Maddie Schalk from Union High School wins the triple jump with a jump of 34 feet even. Cecilia Fox Middleton meets that jump with a 34, but places second.
It's a Skyview runner now with the lead.
That would be Presley Timmons out front. And she's taking command.
She sure is. I was able to look it up. Jenkins does fall in the top 15 in the state of Washington for 4A girls in the 1,600.
So Presley Timmons, who comes in with a slower seed time than Hallie Jenkins, taking command there as we're heading into our home stretch, getting ready for that bell lap. Let's see if she's gone a little bit too early.
About 10, 15 meters ahead of the pack right now. Ahead of second and third place. Stride seems to be pretty consistent and strong
Crossing
right now.
the 1,200 meter mark in roughly 3:52. The two Camas runners in second and third right now. We just had a change in that second and third position. I believe that's Hallie Jenkins and Grace Varsek from Camas, if it holds true to our seed times. And Presley Timmons just continuing to pour it on.
Yeah, she sure is. She decided to come out here and make a difference today. It's a real good day here for track and field.
Oh, the temperature-wise is just beautiful.
Yeah. Here comes Timmons down the stretch here, down past the stadium.
She's going to win this by about 30 meters.
She's going to win this race easily as she coasts in the first place.
With an unofficial time of about 5:07, a very impressive time.
Sure is.
And I believe that is Hallie Jenkins in second and Grace Varsek in third, if I'm getting the names correct.
5:13, 5:14 collectively.
I believe that Samantha Williams from Skyview in fourth place. Think they're a little bit tired, Rodney?
Yeah, just a bit. Just a little bit. She pushed herself on that race, that young lady. I mean, she came across 5 seconds quicker than what they had her coming into the race at. So she came in here with a good race. And if that 5:08 stands up, that puts her in some pretty good company in 4A for the state of Washington.
While we wait for our next winner's circle interview, I can just kind of verbally give you a couple more winners in the men's shot put 4A. Victor Naumov from Union High School with a throw of 46 feet 9 inches. In the men's javelin from Battleground High School, Trent Thompson with a throw of 186 feet 3 inches.
Whoa.
That is some distance.
Yes, it is.
His next closest competitor was Matt Williams from Camas High School with a throw of 169 feet 5 inches. 186 feet is throwing that javelin quite a ways. So I'm going to go to my other stack of results here as we get runners on the track. We talked about Nolan Mickenham.
Yes.
We had him either at 10.4 or 10.5. He won the men's 3A 100-meter dash in a final time of 10.89.
Okay.
So congratulations to him. The women's 3A 100-meter hurdles, Catherine Cattermoss from Mountain View High School. We had her at about that time, 14.89. Very impressive time. She's going to do well at state. She keeps clearing those hurdles like that. Beautiful form. The men's 3A 110-meter hurdles, David McCandy from Mountain View High School. We did have him at about that time, 14.98. Congratulations, David. Andrew Weber, we interviewed Jackson Pace, interviewed him a little bit earlier. Andrew Weber from Fort Vancouver High School taking the 3A men's 1,600-meter title with a time of 4:22.91. And let's see, what else do I have here? The 3A 4x200-meter relay, which kicked off our race today. That was Mountain View High School with a time of 1:51.01. The winner of the triple jump for 3A was Abraham Dixon from Prairie High School with a jump of 42 feet 11.5 inches. Congratulations, Abraham Dixon. 3A women's high jump, Natalie Fraley from Kelso High School, a jump of 4 feet 10 inches. Congratulations to Natalie. I'll hold off on a couple more results that I have while we take a look at the lane assignments for the 3A men's 400-meter run.
Now this is considered a sprint.
Yep. Gurka Aujla from Evergreen in lane 1, Zeke Cochran from Prairie in lane 2, Peyton Rush from Mountain View in lane 3, Eli Keithley from Kelso in lane 4, Andrew Weber from Fort Vancouver in lane 5, Garrett Ritter from Mountain View in lane 6, Anibal Ochoa from Fort Vancouver in lane 7, Joe Lees from Kelso in lane 8, and William Sanborn from Prairie in lane 9. What I find so interesting is that Andrew Weber, who won the 1,600 meter, is also in the 400 meter. So he's got some speed.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Two guys. Gun is up. And looks like we have a clean start. Lanes 4 and 5. Looks like to be the lanes to watch here as we come around the stretch, with 52 being the fastest times here. 52.7 and a 52.9.
Yeah, Andrew Weber, the winner of our 1,600 meter run with the second fastest seed time today. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, very impressive. As we come around the track, Weber is getting ready to put in his kick down the track as he gives the battle there for Kelso.
And it's going to be Andrew Weber.
Going to take it. I've got a 51.77 unofficially.
Yeah, and I came in at just around 52.
So a very good race, impressive race for a man who runs the 1,600 to come out and win the 400. You generally don't see that too often.
So just nosing out Eli Keithley from Kelso.
Yeah.
Yeah, typically you'll see those guys who run the 400, 800 combination or the 1600, 3200 meter combination,
but
really
not down like that.
Really different to see somebody run the 1600 meter, 400 meter combination.
Yeah, it sure is. It sure is.
I'll have to check tomorrow to see if he's entered into the 3200 meter run. Got one more result for you. The women's 3A 100 meter dash. That was, I did that result already.
What was the men's 400 meter dash?
The men's 400 meter dash for 3A.
Victor won it, but what was the time they gave
I
him?
do not have that sheet yet.
Oh, okay.
I begged for a bunch of sheets, and they gave me about
wasn't
20 results, but not that one.
Okay.
So if we have a second here, we'll take a look at the lane assignments for the men's 4A 400 meter dash. Gentlemen setting their blocks right now. In lane 1, we have Isaiah Spear from Camas High School. In lane 2, Casey Murray, Skyview. In lane 3, Cole Kaisner from Skyview. Mason Gross from Camas in lane 4. In lane 5, Andres Solorzano Jones from Union High School. In lane 6, it's Quentin Patterson from Camas. In lane 7, Isaiah Ornelas from Skyview. In lane 8, Connor Gunter from Battleground. And in lane 9, Trent Richards from Union. What's the key to this race, Rodney?
Well, come out strong. You push it through this first 200, and then the rest is just spin, free running. This is a tough race to run, and you got to be in good shape. It's all about what your practice regimen is set up to be super successful in this race. And then just have some quicks. Looks like the fast time here is 50.0, and that's going to be Mason Gross. So Mason Gross is right there in the middle of the track, and he's coming in with a 50.0. So, this race, generally you want to get in. You got to break 50 if you really want to do something in this race. I haven't had a chance to look and see how that's looking in the state of Washington, but I can almost guarantee that there's going to be some 48s and some 49s that are going to be in the top 5
of the stack. Yeah.
And if you want to do this collegiately, you got to be running at least 47, 48. But this is a tough race, and you really just got to leave it all out on the track. It's turned into a sprint, so it's not about much trying to figure out where my speed is and where my speed isn't. It's I give it all I got from the gate.
And what you'll notice with the younger, more experienced runners, I've noticed is, they'll start tying up at the 200 meter mark.
Yeah.
Because they haven't done enough repetitions.
Yeah, they haven't run definitely a bunch of 800s have to be run to be good at this race.
Gun is up. Yep, and there was an instance where he's telling people to get into the blocks quicker. We had people kind of dancing around and stretching, not getting into the blocks as fast as the starter would have liked.
All right, well, we've got one not in the blocks. And we've got a false start.
You don't see that very often.
No, that one took a while, too. You don't really false start the 400. Let's see who they're going to send that one to. And he's standing in lane 2. Generally, that's that back official.
Coach Rosenbach out on the track, I think, to be the bearer of bad news to someone.
And it is lane 2 that's going to pick up the false start. I think that's where the official was standing in.
Yeah, and what you'll notice is we've got the starter who stands on the podium down on the curve, but we also have a starter at the finish line here.
Yes.
And he is the one who fired the gun signaling the false start, because I'm not sure that the starter who's on the curve of the track could actually see around our discus pit.
Well, I don't know.
Did they send someone off?
No, they have not. So I don't know if there was something, if it wasn't considered a fair start because of maybe his block slipped or something like that. I didn't really see what went on. It was the delayed reaction. I mean, they had gotten out into the curve pretty good before this gun went off. So
it's also possible that could have been a timing issue.
Yeah.
Where the sensor didn't read the gunshot, the starter's pistol.
Well, it looks like, I think it is I think this young man in lane 2, his block slipped because now he's got an athlete, a young lady standing behind him, which I'm almost positive she's going to put her foot on the blocks when he gets ready to take off. So another good call there by the officials. Realizing that the young man in lane 2 did not get a fair start.
Might have had a equipment malfunction.
Yeah, so he's going to, give everybody another chance at it.
So as soon as we get this race into the books, we'll go down to Jackson Pace for another interview. But let's get this race into the books first.
Yeah, that's Casey Murray down there in lane 2.
We've got at least 2 runners who are not using blocks.
Yep. All the way out there at the top, Trent Richards from Union. And they're going to bring everybody back up. And the official is going to ask for I'm sure the public announcer,
dress announcer,
started to talk once they were getting ready to run the race, and that's a no-no in track.
Making sure that everybody can hear, especially if we've got some wind howling down there on the track.
Yeah, in lane 1 and 2, it's tough for them to hear anyway. Gun is up. And it looks like everybody got off clean this time.
Got a little bit of a late watch there.
Already some movement there for Gross, who's already making up his stagger.
He's made up several staggers. What is that, lane 4? My
Yes,
goodness.
Well, looks like he may have gone out a little too fast.
I believe that's Mason Gross from Camas out front.
Yep. I think you're right.
Oh, he's starting to tie up. Let's see if somebody can catch him. Starting to tie up. This could be
and here comes,
somebody catches him at the tape. Nope. It's going to be just enough.
He's going to be able to get there. And I got a 50-75 on that one.
Yeah, I don't think he dipped below 50 on that.
No, he didn't.
But still an impressive run. Could tell he was getting a little tired there last
sure
20 meters. All right. If we're ready down on the winner circle, we have a shot put and javelin winner. Go ahead, Jackson.
All right, I'm here with Brandon Apt. He's a senior. This is his 4th year competing at districts, is that right?
Yes, it is.
And your first time winning?
Yes.
And I mean, he won 2 events. You won what was it? Javelin and what else?
Shot put.
Shot put. Wow. So what's the difference in training for those 2 events?
It's a lot different. For javelin, it's more about like technique and getting the throw down. For shot, it's a lot of explosiveness and power.
Yeah, all right. Are you ready? Are you ready for regionals? You excited?
I'm very ready. I'm very excited.
Yeah? All right. Well, again, Brandon Apt, first in shot and javelin. So congrats to him, and we're going to send it back up to you guys.
Congratulations to Brandon Apt from Evergreen High School, the winner in 2 events today. Congratulations, taking the title in the 3A javelin and the 3A shot put. I believe he's our we had Andrew Weber. Won 2 events, and Brandon, the first 2-time winner in the field events today. Congratulations to Brandon.
So take a look here for the Washington State standings for the 400. It looks like Mason Gross is number 5 with that 50 flat. The 48.16, and like I said, the 40. That's the winner. Young man out of Glacier Peak, Ethan Williams.
Did it say where Mason ran that? Today's race will certainly be
the 55th Centennial Invitational.
Now that you mention that, my daughter ran in that invitational.
Oh, okay. So you probably saw him run it.
And that was a really impressive race. I remember his race out there. All right, so I think we are ready to take a look at the lane assignments for the first event in the women's 400-meter run. This is the 3A women up first. Brief conversation there between the 2 starters.
So lane 4 and
Layla
5.
Mott from Mountain View in lane 1. Sorry, Rodney. Kyla Shoddy from Kelso in lane 2. Alexis Richard from Kelso in lane 3. Elena Dalla Gasparina from Mountain View in lane 4. Katie Vroman from Prairie in lane 5. Brianna Benitez from Hudson Bay in lane 6. Maddie Hill from Mountain View in lane 7. Eliana Duff from Fort Vancouver in lane 8. And in lane 9, Morgan Hill from Prairie.
All right, and the race looks to be in lanes 4 and 5.
Thank you, Truck, for getting that graphic up. Clean start. Fastest seed time here is
1:01, it looks like.
Yeah, Dalla Gasparina from Mountain View with a time of 1:01.76. And she's in lane 4, and she's already made up all but one of the staggers, it looks like.
Yep. She's coming in strong around this last curve.
I believe that's Katie Vroman from Prairie, currently running in 2nd place in lane 5.
It is, yeah, that is Vroman. And nobody's going to be able to catch Mountain View on there.
Gasparina from Mountain View, the winner. I didn't stop my clock there. Congratulations. That was Katie Vroman from Prairie in 2nd, and I believe that was Alexis Richard, was that, in 3rd from Kelso. Very fine race. The winds died down a little bit. You would expect to see the times maybe pick up a little. I mean, I see some breeze, but it's certainly less windy up here at the top of the stands. All right, we have down in the winner's circle, Mason Gross, the winner of the 3A men's 400-meter dash. Take it away, Jackson.
I'm here with Mason Gross. He just won the 400 meters for Camas. Now I understand you were here both your freshman year and your sophomore year, and you're a junior this year, but this is your first win. Do you think that you did anything at practice or training different this year than you did those past 2 years?
Absolutely, just practice, getting up and practicing every day, and also definitely off season. When you go to state, season's over, you got to just keep on working over the summer and the winter, and then start practicing season strong.
Yeah, are you ready and excited for regionals?
Oh yes, sir. Last year I didn't qualify for regionals, so this year I really hope to make it to state and hopefully the finals.
Yeah, let's hope. So how does it feel out there running with that Camas jersey on, representing your school? What's it like?
Oh, it's great. I mean, I go to school, at Camas has a really rich track and field tradition, going out and representing my culture and my program like that, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, well, all right, thank you, and congrats, Mason. We're going to throw it back to you guys.
I'm sorry, that was Mason Gross, the winner. Got the key on, Scott? Thank you. Mason Gross, the winner of the men's 4A 400-meter dash. Congratulations, Mason Gross from Camas High School. Now we have time, I think, to take a look at the lane assignments for the 4A women's 400-meter run. In lane 1, Catherine McCann from Camas. In lane 2, Peyton Lesser from Camas. In lane 3, Sophie Green from Skyview. In lane 4, Brooklyn Jackson from Union. We'll talk about her in a second. In lane 5, Emma Coates from Camas. In lane 6, Vanessa Nicasio from Union. In lane 7, Hope Yim. In lane 8, Elizabeth Kinnan from Battleground. And in lane 9, Olivia Baldwin from Union.
And Brooke Jackson out of lane 4 is coming in at a 58.75.
Yeah, Brooklyn Jackson currently, what was that, 5th?
Yeah.
In 4A in the state of Washington, which probably puts her 5th in all classifications in the state of Washington.
Yeah,
so
sure
you're
does.
watching a top 5 athlete in the state here. She's a good bet to make the podium at the state meet. Brooklyn Jackson in lane 4.
Nice little run. They got a winds in their face down there along the back stretch. You can kind of see it. The athletes kind of stand up a little bit if they can lean into this curve. She's pretty much made up all the stagger. Comes around the corner. And she
and you know what? That's Emma
she's
Coates.
Gonna die out there, and
that's
she's
Emma
not gonna
Coates from Camas.
And Emma's going to come across in 59.
A big upset there.
It sure was. That sure was.
And you know what? You have Brooklyn Jackson grabbing, and you know what?
And she is taped up
her
over
left
there,
thigh
so it
is
does
taped
look
up,
like,
and she was grabbing it. So looks like there's an injury involved there. But impressive race from Emma Coates from Camas. And some heartbreak on the track. This can happen. It's really hard. I've told my kids it's really hard to put together a perfect season.
Yeah,
and
it sure
so
is. It
if
sure
it's
is.
not perfect all the way through, don't knock yourself, because even the best athletes get injured. And
Yeah, they sure do.
Looks like as what happened to Brooklyn Jackson as she limps
You
onto
train
the
all year to
infield.
peak at this point in the season, and for an injury to prevent you from that peak, it's always just tough.
Well, and there's so many variables.
Yeah.
I mean, you've put in off-season work by maybe doing some extra workouts, some strength or circuit training.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
For distance runners, putting in some extra miles. But it's really hard to string together a perfect season, like I said. So some
Sure
heartbreak
is.
there
Sure
for
is.
Brooklyn Jackson. Brooklyn, we feel for you. Let's throw it down to Jackson Pace, who has Presley Timmons out there, the winner of the 4A 1,600-meter women's run.
I'm here with Presley Timmons. She just won first for Skyview in the 1,600. How does it feel?
Oh, I'm so happy. I still can't believe it. It was so much fun.
Yeah, so this is your 4th time at districts and your first win. Yeah. What'd you do to train this year that you maybe didn't do the last couple years that helped you pull out the win this year?
This year actually was the first year that I did a full indoor season for track, so I think that was I put a really good base work down through the winter that I think I was just really stayed focused in my training and just really looked for the goals ahead of me, and kind of was really looking forward to going back to state, because last year was my first year going to state for the 800, and I've never ran the mile before at district, so I just really wanted to kind of focus more on the mile and the 800 and just probably make it to districts. I was hoping I would, but I never expected to win. I'm really shocked.
Yeah, and you mentioned your indoor track season. Do you think that practicing all year helped you maintain that lead for the race?
Maybe, yeah. I did cross country earlier the year too, and I feel like I didn't have that good of a season, so I kind of just wanted to maybe get back, not take too much of a break, and then kind of stay to my training and really focus on my speed too, and make sure that I have the track speed versus the cross country endurance, and then focus on the shorter races too. So definitely.
All right, thank you again, Presley Timmons. First place in the 4A 1,600s. Congrats. Back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Jackson, and congratulations again to Presley Timmons from Skyview High School, the winner of the 4A 1,600-meter run on to state. And she is a runner we have heard about for a couple years now, and I think she's going to do well at state. Just keep her healthy.
Sure will. I'm getting ready here for the 3A men's 4x100.
And this will take a little time to get everybody set, because what they do is they bring all 4 runners down here, give them a debrief about where they all need to be as far as exchange zones, and then I heard a public address call out for the exchange zone monitors. So we will have folks with those white and red flags that they can raise, signaling whether it was a clean exchange or if there was a disqualification for either passing inside the zone or outside the zones.
Yeah, so it looks like Prairie's coming in this with the fastest time at a 43.80. So we'll see what they're going to do here. And you got to go ahead and throw it down there.
Yeah, we're going to throw it down to Jackson for another interview. We've got Dalla Gasparina, the winner. Oh, I'm forgetting. She won the 400-meter run. Go ahead, Jackson.
Yes, she did.
I'm here with Elena. She just won the 3A girls 400. So how did it feel out there today?
Really good. It was hot, but it feels good, like, for the muscles. So, you know.
Yeah, helps you warm up.
Yeah, exactly.
So how does it feel out there wearing that Mountain View jersey, you know, representing your school, and then taking first place also?
It feels like amazing. I'm so incredibly blessed to have, like, so many people around me who have helped me, like, grow and get to where I am, and I'm just so thankful for everyone, and I'm really happy that I could make them proud.
Yeah. All right. Well, again, congratulations. This is Elena, won the 400. So back to you, Matt and Rodney.
All right, and congratulations on to state. It looks like we have our exchange zone monitors all in position. If we have a second, we can take a look at our lane assignments here. And it doesn't look like they've shifted them like they did earlier in the 4x200. So this is the 3A men's 4x100 meter relay. In lane 2, Fort Vancouver. In lane 3, Evergreen. In lane 4, the men from Prairie. In lane 5, the team from Mountain View. And towards the outside of the track, lane 6 is Kelso.
Yeah, definitely, like I said a little earlier, Prairie's coming in with the fastest time at a 43.8, so 43 high. Has them right there in the top 10 of the state of Washington with that time right now. A couple of schools out there.
Yeah, why don't we do that?
Let's do that.
Let's do another interview real quick, because I still see red flags up around the field. So let's go down to Jackson Pace. Emma Coates.
I'm here with Emma Coates. She just won the 4A 400. She's from Camas. And you're a freshman, are you not?
Yeah, I am.
So, wow, first year districts and coming in first place. That's a big deal. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So, how does it feel to be out there in that Camas jersey representing your school?
It feels good, a little hot, but it's nice to be able to, like, show off all of the work that I've been training for.
Yeah. So are you excited for regionals?
I am. I'm nervous, though.
Yeah. How does it feel to be number 1? You came out on top. What's it like?
It actually feels really nice, because I was kind of expecting to get second, but then in the end I was just pushing myself so hard. So.
All right. Well, thank you again. This is Emma Coates. Back to you guys.
And that was... And your key is open, Scott. Quit laughing at me. No funny stuff from the truck. Peanut Gallery. That was Emma Coates, the winner of the 4A women's 400 meter run. Congratulations, Emma. On to state. So what's the key here? Don't drop the baton and pass in the zone.
Yes, that is definitely the key. Doesn't matter how fast you are if the stick doesn't make it around with you.
And I mean, you know, and you see it at the elite level. It's all about a smooth exchange.
Yeah, it is.
You know, you can have 4 runners who aren't terribly quick, you know, in the grand scheme of things. But if those exchanges are sloppy,
it's gonna kill them. Yeah. And we're off. And the good thing about this is the coach. The coaches, it's real big on the coach to make sure you have your fastest people running the longest distance too, because you can stagger the sets and everybody can run actually longer than 100 just by when you have the exchange zone. And we've got a big race going on down the back stretch. This is the prettiest part of the race here when the stagger's made up. There is Prairie out front, big in front of Mountain View.
And I believe this is
Nolan
Nolan Mickenham
in the exchange zone. And Prairie, just like suspected, is going to come across big on this one with the big win, Mountain View and then Kelso.
Nolan Mickenham winning that race by about 15 meters or so.
Yeah, yeah. And like I was saying before, as this race got started, one of the things that as a coach, if you're running this race, also not everybody has to run 100 meters. You know, some of the people, your slowest guy, you'll give him, you know, the shortest part of the race. You know, just based on where you have him start in the exchange zone, and when he hands it off, you'll get the baton in his hand late and get it out of his hand early. You know, and then that's also how you can kind of gauge the race as well.
Well, and I don't know if one of our cameras can show it on the first turn outside towards the edge of the track over towards the flag, the American flag. There are some tape marks.
Yeah.
And so you will see athletes put little strips of white tape out there. What's that about, Rodney?
That's the kind of your go mark. So you'll put some white tape down.
There.
Yeah, you can kind of see it in the
athlete.
background. And the athlete will put that tape down, and then he'll walk off into where he starts, and then that'll actually be when the runner's coming around. When he hits that tape, that's when you know to take off. Some teams will holler go, and then some teams don't speak at all. They just kind of wait, and when you hit the mark, they take off. So it's you see it all different kinds of ways. The thing is, as long as the exchange, everything happens within the 2 big arrows, and when you hand off the baton in between those arrows, it doesn't make a difference as long as it's in those arrows.
When we get to the collegiate level, when we're talking about NCAA Division I, do they put tape or do they just yell go?
I mean, it's kind of just, it depends on what your track team and what your guys are comfortable with. I mean, different coaches do different things, you know, and I kind of spoke on, you know, making the slower of the 4 run the shortest amount of time. A lot of times they'll put the fastest person in leg 3. We've seen them do that at the Olympic level when Usain Bolt did that a couple of times. You know, so you just kind of play with it and just kind of figure out what's going to work the best for you, and your faster athlete is going to be the guy who's running down in front of the stadium.
Yep. All right, this is the 4A men's 4x100 meter relay lane assignments, and it looks like these will stand. Lane 2, the men from Heritage, and lane 3, fellas from Skyview, and lane 4, Union, in lane 5, Camas, and in lane 6, the Battleground Tigers.
Let's see here, Wayne.
Looks like Union with the fastest time, just under 43 seconds, 42.99.
42.99. Let's see here. That's a fast time. That is that could get them on the podium in the state track meet with a time like that.
And it looks like at least 3 of these names we've heard earlier, I believe, in the 100-meter dash. The team is made up of Wesley Tran, Lincoln Victor, Vin Luong, and Tobias Merriweather.
Yeah.
And I think we said 3 of those names in the finals of the 100-meter.
And right now, that 42.99 is number 3 in the state of Washington right now.
And when did they run that one, Rodney?
They ran that in a dual meet on April 23rd against Camas. So I bet you that was a pretty exciting meet to watch.
Well, and Camas with the second fastest seed time. So, if our seed times hold true, let's take a look at lanes 4 and 5.
Yeah. Camas just 3 schools behind them in 6th place right there across the state of Washington. So.
And we have white flags all the way around. Let's see if I can get a clock on this. Gun is up. We haven't seen any faults yet in our exchange zones.
Camas already making up catching the first guy on the stagger.
Great handoff.
Good handoffs.
Oh, Union coming up.
Coming up strong. Had to adjust the baton in his hand. We'll see here.
I think Camas still has the edge.
So they got the long-legged kid running the. Running the third leg.
Looks like Camas is going to have a step or two to make up.
Yep, and it looks like here we go down the thing. He's going to get that too quick. He is not going to be able to catch him at all. And this is Lincoln Victor coming down the track. Whew. And 42.94. That seems about right.
That's an unofficial time, of course, but incredibly fast time there.
And they got the youngster Merriweather right there running that curve for him. Ran a nice curve.
Yeah, so given the fact that a hand time is usually a little bit gives credit to the runner.
Yes.
That time is probably just above their time. What you said was what, fourth?
Yeah,
fifth, third fastest time in the state of Washington.
Because it was a high
now.
42. It was a 42.9. So, with the wind blowing in their faces out here, it's probably, I would imagine officials probably 43 low.
We have our second to last event of the day out on the track right now. My counterpart from Vancouver Public Schools trying to talk the Union fellas into an interview. We'll see if he had any success, but that's all right. They've put in a long day's work if they don't want to do an interview. Let's take a look now at the entrance or the lane assignments for the 3A women's 4x100 meter relay. In lane 2, Kelso. In lane 3, Prairie. In lane 4, Fort Vancouver. In lane 5, the Mountain View Thunder. In lane 6, Evergreen. And in lane 7, Hudson's Bay. This is probably the largest field we've had for the 4x100 meter. So this will be a fun race to watch.
Fort Vancouver in lane 4 is coming in with the highest time with a 52.44.
Yeah, we have 3 times in this race that are just under 53 seconds. So let's keep an eye on lanes 3, 4, and 5. Yeah. That's Prairie, Fort Vancouver, and Mountain View. Let's see if we can get clean exchanges, which we have in all of our relay races so far.
Mountain View on lane 5, also another team to watch here. 52-48. Clean start. Nice exchange there on the backside, and a white flag. Mountain View seems to be in first right now, with Fort in second. Prairie trying to come up on him. It's going to be a race now. Mountain View and Prairie. Prairie is going to come out and take this one. He's going to get it with those long strides. Oh, I don't know. Mountain View may have came back and got that one at the last hit.
I don't know
Prairie,
that I'd be willing to call that.
Here.
She looked to be gaining on her, and then Mountain View may have pulled that one out at the
end. I think
end.
she may have came back and get her.
Boy, that was all in the last 15 meters of that race.
It sure was. It sure was. Fort Vancouver comes in third place on that one.
And
got the baton in second, but just wasn't able to hold on.
And I'm impressed. Clean exchanges all the way around. When we talk about having to walk off the track for a false start, you don't want to be the person who's making 4 people walk off the track versus just one.
Right, exactly, exactly.
1 second there.
Looks like they're getting ready for Prairie.
All right, let's throw it back down to Jackson Pace. From VPS Game Time, he has the 3A 4x100 meter relay champions.
All right, I'm here with the 3A 4x1 team. It's Prairie. Please introduce yourself.
My name is Darius Dancel, and I'm first leg. There you go.
I'm AJ Dixon, and I'm second leg. Hezekiah Dixon, and I'm third leg.
Nolan Mickenham, and I'm fourth leg.
All right. So what is it like to compete as a team compared to solo events?
You work a little bit harder for your teammates, I think. That's what I do, but it pushes you a little bit more.
All right. How did you guys decide the running order? Who goes first, second, third?
Well, Darius gets the fastest starts, so we put Darius out there, and AJ has a great straight. Nolan has a great straight, and I have a pretty good third leg curve, so that's kind of how we put it together.
Yeah, and you guys were walking over here to do this interview. You guys were really excited about your times. What was your time?
42.93.
Is that a PR for you guys?
Yeah, this is.
Oh, wow, congratulations. All right, yes, this is the 3A 4x1 team. Back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Jackson, and congratulations to the men from Prairie High School. The man on the left there, Nolan Mickenham, winner of today's 100-meter run for 3A, and one of the few folks in the state of Washington to dip below 11 seconds in the 100-meter, and he could make the podium.
Yeah, he sure could. He sure could.
Pulling for him to make it to the finals in the 4A state championship, where they will run preliminaries.
Yeah, he'll have to put together some pretty good races, you know.
All right. Don't know if we have a second to look at the lane assignments here while the girls are getting into their starting blocks. In lane 3, Skyview. In lane 4, Union. In lane 5, Camas. And in lane 6, Battleground, our last event of the evening.
Finally get into you while they're warm.
Appreciate it. And it looks like Union starting off with the best time here with a 49.67. Camas' first leg moving already. Kind of ran up on her runner, but a pretty good, decent exchange there. Union's second leg runs a real good leg. Tons gets handoff at the same time, and there's the stagger. As Union comes around in first place. Camus right there behind him. Clean exchange. Plenty of time in the exchange zone. And Union's not going to get contested at all in this one as they come across in first place.
Just about 49 seconds, high 49 there.
And that is right about their seed time. They came in with a 49.67, so it looks like that's about right for them.
So I don't think we have time for any more interviews today. That is our last event of the day. I want to thank everybody who tuned in today, our crews, especially our students and staff from Vancouver Public Schools and Evergreen Public Schools for putting on this, what is the first live joint sports broadcast from our 2 school districts. Thank you, Rodney, for coming out today.
Been a pleasure.
Rodney and I will be back out here tomorrow with our students and staff crews. Again, our live coverage tomorrow for day 2 of the Greater Saint Helens League Track and Field Championships will kick off tomorrow afternoon at 3:45. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody, and we'll see you next time.